This is noise. Listener, can you hear me? Kept you waiting, huh? Looks like there's more content at pixelbenders.com. You'll have to click the link in the description below to access the site. You can send your questions to info@pixel-benders.com. If you would like to leave us a message, our frequency is 209-791-0995. Got it? Okay, you're ready to go. Welcome back, everybody, to Codec Calls, a Metal Gear Saga podcast, where we play all the games, all the Metal Gear games, not all the games in the world, that would be crazy, but all the god damn it, all the Metal Gear games. You guys, what's happening?
We're professionals here.
We're thrown off.
From 1987 all the way until the present time, which unfortunately will also include Metal Gear Solid Delta.
What do you mean, unfortunately? You're not looking forward to it?
No, absolutely not. No. Any game not made by Kojima after he left, I'm not looking forward to. We'll have a discussion about that when the time comes. But that's what we do here. And you heard, of course, my two... What did I call you guys last time? My
co-hosts.
Co-hosts, cohorts.
Yeah, what did you think I said? Cohorts?
Yeah.
But I feel like someone thought it was like a name or something.
Comrades? I don't know.
But yes, yeah. This is what happens when we're thrown off by 2 days, German. This is your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
So that's German, a.k.a. Riser, a.k.a. Contra right there.
Hey, what's up?
And then also to the left of me, just kidding, we're in completely different rooms and states. Damn it, Kriss, a.k.a. Kriss, a.k.a. the world's worst gamer, a.k.a. Blue Rhino Boss, a.k.a. Faller.
Hello.
I'm not going to say that every time. I'm just going to do it this one time. If anyone catches on to the joke from last episode. Anyways, so we had quite an interesting week with Metal Gear Ghost Babel, also known to us in the US as Metal Gear Solid. I beat the game, not intentionally. I just kind of kept going.
Oh, I can see how you just kept going. It's pretty easy to just not want to stop. It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a good game, but you are going to run into some stuff where you're going to pull your hair out.
Huh.
It kind of starts doing... I was telling Kriss, I was like, it's going to start doing the Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 stuff on the MSX. Like, it's going to start pulling that kind of bullshit on you.
What do you mean, like the backtracking?
No, because it's all level-based.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you do kind of backtrack in some levels, but just the whole, like, how would you even think of that?
Okay.
Right? It's like some really specific like puzzle solving things that I don't even think Kriss has gotten to yet. I think it's in the second half of this. So for this episode, we're going to discuss stages 1 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
German is actually playing it right now. What stage are you on?
Like I said, I think this is 4. Like I said,
4?
Towards the end of 4, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty close by. I'm pretty close. Now, the whole reason for this, the reason we're recording 2 days late instead of 1 day late, and the reason why I haven't played a single bit of this game other than the intro instead of at least making it to 7 is because of my secret mission.
Yes.
That I think I only told Kriss. I don't think you know about this. Oh no, I told you guys in the group chat. But yeah, the point being is on my way back from a good old PR, which by the way, mission successful. I toppled the government.
Okay.
They are now freed and part of the United States.
So you've earned your name Contra.
Yeah, absolutely. They are now free to enjoy democracy, McDonald's, and of course video games. So they are a free country now.
Didn't they rename it to McDonald's Trump?
McDonald's Trump. They snorted there. On the way back from my trip there, it was a complete shit show. And what happened? We took a flight from PR to what do you call it? Miami.
Okay.
And we get there, and it was about a 1 hour layover. And the original flight plan or itinerary was supposed to go from Miami to Denver, I believe it was, within about another 1 or 2 hour layover, and then a flight to Reno, and we'd be home around, I think it was supposed to be like 9 p.m. on Wednesday. And so the plan was I'd get home at 9 p.m. and I'd play all of Thursday, and we'd record on Thursday night.
Right. I was supposed to go pick you up with
Yeah,
your
yeah,
sister.
you or somebody, or Tony or whatever. But so then the flight got delayed in Miami because of weather. They were like trying to route the best plan or whatever flight path, which I'm all for. I want to get here. So I wasn't one of those like this bullshit kind of guys. But then we're sitting on the tarmac. We're sitting there on the tarmac for freaking like about an hour, and then all of a sudden, some people that were next to me, it comes on. They're like, "Well, that's it. We missed our connecting flight," because they were connecting somewhere in Denver as well.
Oh, no.
All of a sudden, you hear the bing bong, like, "Attention passengers, this is the captain speaking." And I didn't quite get all the gist, but what it sounded like is, what it ends up being is, they couldn't continue with the flight because they were going to be violating the law. I guess, kind of like a doctors, they can't fly for so many hours or something like that. So they were like, "Yep, if we can't do this. We're violating the law. We're sorry. It's not us. It's the law. So we're going back to the gate." And so we're like, great. So we're sitting at this gate now. So now the plan was they're getting new pilots. And the flight's been... So because of that, we missed our connecting flight in Denver. So then American Airlines reissued, our tickets or whatever, kind of, they fixed the flight, if you will. But now that meant we were going to sit in Denver from midnight all the way to 8 a.m. So that we can get on a plane to go to Reno, which is still another 4-hour flight or so. Then come, and I was like, oh, hell no. I'm like, I ain't doing that shit. I almost had no choice. So I was kind of looking around, and there was no other way to do it at first. At first, I was like, either we wait in Denver for 8 hours or we wait in Miami for 8 hours. But even if we waited in Miami for 8 hours, we still had to go from Miami to Phoenix, then wait an hour at Phoenix, and then go from Phoenix to Reno. And I was like, dude, this sucks. I was pissed, but, it is what it is. And then it kind of struck me, you get tunnel vision, and because the whole time I'm looking for flights, or alternate paths, I just kept going Reno, like, oh, Reno, is there anything we can do? And I said, wait a minute. I was like, let's check somewhere else. I didn't check, like, is the Sacramento have an airport? I don't know if they do. They do?
They do,
I didn't check Sacramento. I should have, but, hindsight. But I said, wait a minute, San Francisco. I'm like, well, let's just see what the fuck is in San Francisco. Because even then, I was, like, thinking maybe even Vegas would be a better option if there was something, right? So I looked at San Francisco, and sure enough, there was a flight leaving Miami straight to San Francisco, and it was leaving in about an hour or so. I started making, talking to Tony and my sister, and be like, yo, it's like, would one of you guys pick us up? If not, don't worry. But, this and that. Tony was like, yeah, I'm down, I'll go, whatever, I'm calculating the 3-hour difference. I'm like, all right, well, it says I'll be in San Francisco at midnight or so, and it's at, local time for them was freaking like 5 p.m. I'm like, you guys should be able to drive down to San Francisco with no problem, no rush. And I'm like, if you guys can't make it, local their time.
But I thought you said midnight.
Well, I know it was 5 p.m. their time. So if they drove to San Francisco from at 5 or 6, they'd be there by 10, 11 p.m.
Okay.
And so I was like, yeah, this should work just fine. And I told him, hey, look, if you can't make it, don't worry. At least we'll be in San Francisco. We'll just spend the night somewhere in San Francisco. It's better being 4 hours away from home in a city that we kind of know versus being in some city we've never been to,
Yep.
And so anyways, it worked out, and I literally flew from Miami to San Francisco, and that was also some layover, or not layover, we call it delayed. We were in tarmac again for another hour because of weather.
Jeez.
And again, I was like, as long as we make it, man, I don't give a fuck. Let's just make it.
But that was like a direct flight?
Yeah, that was a direct flight.
Man, that's kind of brutal too.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. But so then they're on the way. I put a timer on my phone because it's hard to tell how long you've been traveling when there's time zones.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So for the way there, I didn't really know how much we were really traveling. But for the way back, I said, hey, I'm gonna put a timer so that at least we know how much we traveled. I started that timer like pretty much the second that shuttle took us from the hotel to the airport. I literally started the timer. I stopped it. I'm not even joking you. Maybe half a mile from my house, like literally like a couple streets from my house. That's when I pulled it out, and it literally said 24 hours and like in 4 or 5 minutes. And I was like, Jesus, man, 24 hours of travel time. I was like, you would think we went to freaking Japan or something, Australia.
Yeah.
It was, and again, sleep was almost non-existent on that plane. We couldn't really sleep. At least I didn't really sleep. It sucked. But hey, it's all worth it, for democracy. So
for democracy.
But that's why we're late, and that's why I didn't get a chance to play. I didn't even take my laptop, so I was gonna play on the plane and everything. And in theory, I could have gotten pretty far on the plane because I didn't take my laptop. I was gonna play on my phone. Remember, I told you I wanted that Game Boy feeling.
Oh yeah.
But the Game Boy emulator I was using was just not work. It would just keep getting like corrupted. I don't know. It just wouldn't really. It would work and then it would freeze and it would crash. And so I was like, all right, let me download another one. I downloaded this other one that was free to play, but it wanted you to pay for the premium. I was like, oh, I'll just play free to play. Well, the free to play has ads literally like every 3 or 4, 5 minutes at most.
Oh no.
And so I was like, I can tough it out. Oh, hell no, dude, it's so annoying. You can't play with freaking ads just constantly.
You mean like what EA wants to do with their games?
I don't know about that, but it was unplayable. And then I was like, all right, when I got to the hotel, I looked for another one for free ones or something better, and I couldn't find anything. And I remember, Luis, you were telling me that one of the sites that you were using, it wouldn't work or something like that. There was a point where it was like bugged or something.
No, not for me.
I thought you told us. I thought you said like, oh, hey, you're not gonna be able to use this emulator or this ROM or something like that. I thought you said something like that.
No, I do know Kriss, because he was playing it on my modded PSP.
Yeah.
And when he would get to the first elevator, it would crash.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So it was for him that it wasn't working. Like every single device I played it on multiple devices because I'm a weirdo. But every device I played it on, like I didn't have any problems, so I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about that one website that hosts the emulator and the ROM, whatever that was. I thought that's the one you were talking about. That's why I didn't try that. I could have tried that. But either way, yeah, like I said, so I got here, like I said, what was it? Wednesday. What's funny, I got here Wednesday at 6 a.m. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
No, was it Thursday? No, it was Thursday.
The last time you texted, it was Wednesday, 6 a.m.
Oh, shit, you're right. That was Wednesday. So I got home, crashed, woke up, and I was like, yeah, that's when you guys were like, let's postpone. I said, all right, fine, let's postpone. But yeah, I was beat, man. There was nothing I could.
Well, when I saw that it was 6 a.m. that you got home, I was like, nah, he's
yeah,
he needs rest. He needs to sleep.
yeah. I slept and I woke up and then and then there was still the matter of our luggage was technically MIA because it was still on the plane that was going to Denver.
Oh, the original one?
Yeah, because we got off of that plane. Because I remember I was on the phone with the lady, and I'm like, "Can we do this flight?" She's like, "Yeah, we should be able to." And then I get the ding dong, like, "Attention, passengers! We have one pilot on board and ready to go. We're just waiting on the next one, or his co-pilot. He's on his way." And I was like, "All right, lady." I'm like, "Look, is this gonna happen or not? Because I need to get off this plane if it is." And if it's not, I need to stay on this plane. What do you want me to do, Yeah. She's like, "You're on the plane?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm not going to get off of it if it ain't going to happen, And she's all like, "Yeah, get off. And I get off the plane, and the guys were like, "Hey, man, if you get off, you might not be able to get back on." "Don't worry," I said. And sure enough, then it took me a minute to find every flight that day. I'm not even joking you. Because of weather or God knows what, it was a trickle-down effect because we were delayed and then, all that. And then when we got off, and, I was like, everything's taken care of on my end, at least. I mean, it was just nonstop. Flight, blah, 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 from Miami to whatever has been changed from gate D15 to gate E5. And people are like running across the ding dong, flight, blah, 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 has been regated to, I'm like, damn, it was like a Home Alone scene. I mean, people were just running everywhere. I was like, jeez, man. And dude, I could tell people were pissed, and I could tell the airline attendants or whatever those guys, the employees were flustered. And so here I am, not being a mean guy, not being one of those like a-holes, but I'm like, hey man, I just got a question here. I'm trying to get an answer. Like, hey, are my luggage just gonna go to Reno, or are they gonna go to San Francisco? And I'm not like, get them off the plane. I was like, I just want to know where they're gonna end up, And they were all kind of very short. They're like, they're gonna go wherever your final destination is. I'm like, again, the original final destination was Reno. Is that where they're going? So I couldn't really get a straight answer from them. And I said, whatever. And I said, I don't care. We'll figure it out later. And it wasn't until we got picked up from San Francisco, maybe about 30 minutes after we started leaving the airport, I just decided to check my emails. And there was an email from American Express and said like, hey, at that point, the original plane had made it to Dallas. So it was there. And they're like, hey, like, we couldn't get your luggage to San Francisco. Sorry about that. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I don't expect
at least
you
to know where it is instead of like, oh, we don't know where your luggage is.
Exactly. And again, I didn't expect them to like, try to hustle it from Dallas to San Francisco or even get it off of Miami and get it on my, I wasn't tripping too much. But, they're like, we're sorry, it's not going to be in San Francisco in time. Here's the luggage claim or whatever, fill this out. And they did. And they got it to me last night. So, like I said, no big deal. It is what it was. I learned a lot. I learned that you shouldn't get tunnel visioned in life, and just like in video games, sometimes you'll get hard-headed and be like, nope, I'm going to do it this way. And then you're like, just stop, try a different method, try a different attack pattern,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my whole trip there. And so that's why one of the reasons why I also didn't play it was I thought it just wasn't going to work on that site. But then again, there was no free Wi-Fi on the plane, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Either way, then, again, I probably wouldn't have made it as far, and I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as I am right now, because even right now, I don't feel like I'm rushed. Even though I'm behind, I wanted to keep playing, man. I was like, dude, this game's fun, dude. I like it. It's so good. And like I texted earlier, had I played this game back in 95 or 96, when it was released?
This one was
2000, I think, wasn't it?
2000, yeah.
Oh, 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it came after VR missions.
You're right. Well, damn, it feels like it's older. Yeah, 2000, me would have been all over this game. This game
it feels older, doesn't it?
It does. It
but
does.
like,
well, Game Boy Color.
Yeah, but the eight-way directions like really make it feel way smoother than like Metal Gear 2.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like the wall pressing, the crawling. I mean, despite the lack of buttons, it was also much more responsive than MSX. Metal Gear 2, and
which had more buttons.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just smooth. It's the only downside is, and they made it work with quote unquote 4 buttons: select, start, B, and A. They made it work.
Yeah,
but the item menuing is kind of like, it could be better, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's well, I'll talk about the buttons real quick because I remapped them pretty much. Okay. So I basically made my top face button, which would be triangle or Y, for you Xboxers out there. Sorry, PC gamers. I don't know what an Xbox is. So I made that one the select, basically. So that brings up the menu.
Okay.
To switch items, go to the codec. And then I made X, my bottom face button. I made that one start because that's your crawl button, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I left circle to be A, which is your punch. And then I made square my B, which is your weapon. So basically, it was the same Metal Gear Solid controls, except obviously for triangle, because triangle usually is just the use button, right? I think. Mm-hmm. Oh no, it's first person.
Oh, first person, yeah.
Which obviously doesn't exist. So,
but still, it was like when you bring up your items, and you still had to push up for items, left and right for weapons. I guess like a quick select. But because you don't really know what's next, you kind of have to cycle through them blindly. That's the one thing I wish. Like the quick select, if you will, it was cool. If you didn't care, you're like, whatever, I'm just going to cycle through my items. It would have been cool if they also had like a 2 selects or something. We'll bring a full screen like MSX and MSX2 did.
Yep.
You could see your items and just kind of select the one you wanted. But otherwise, it's still good.
It did make me long for the old MSX item management. Like, as much as we hated it, we're like, oh, like this, the only good thing about, what was it? It was the NES version, is that everything was actually organized.
Mm-hmm. They would actually have like a dedicated slot. Yeah.
Yeah, like these are where the keys are. These are where the Russians are. Mm-hmm. But I really wanted that screen. I was like, oh my God, like cycling through. Yeah, and you haven't even gotten to this box puzzle.
Oh, no, I just beat the box puzzle. Well, a box puzzle. I don't know if it's done.
Is that in stage 4, Chris?
I think it's like stage 6.
Yeah, it's after.
I'm not at 6. The one where you ride the conveyor belts?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Then that's where I'm at.
So wait,
stage 6.
Have you fought a boss?
Yeah, I fought Boomerang dude.
That's the end of stage 4.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's okay. Then mission completed.
When he was talking about rescuing the one guy, I was like, oh, that's like stage 5 or 6.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, the not doctor, but yeah, the scientist. That is later.
Which by the way, his sprite looks nothing like a doctor or scientist. He looks like he's a fucking like he's got one of those big old puffy jackets that back in the day from New York, the rappers,
So have you talked to him? Like, have you got a cutscene with him yet?
I'm literally blew up the C4, which is funny because I did that kind of intuition. Like I saw that at the first door.
Yeah,
and I was like. And there was more to the right. So I said, I'm not going to go up there yet. I'm going to explore a little bit. And as I made it to the right, and then I went up and I got some C4. And I said, let me guess, I'm going to have to blow up the fucking wall. So sure enough, I started banging on the wall and I was like, bing, bing. I'm like, okay, cool. So
once you get the cutscene Once you get the cutscene, you'll see why his sprite is like a big
like
puffy
that?
red jacket.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah, it's totally like a rapper, yeah.
Yeah, like fucking Run DMC or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah. Not like Sean Puffy Combs. We don't mention him right now.
I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if you want to mention it here. I'll look it up later if need be, but...
I'll mention it real quick because your oldest sister brought it up to me. I guess who was it, Kriss? Do you know about this?
I don't.
Homeland Security raided two of his properties.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he was also pulling an R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah?
Which honestly didn't surprise me because when I first heard about what was happening with R. Kelly, I was like, oh, like I wonder if Puffy was kind of involved in that because they made a ton of records together.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So it looks like he's involved in some human trafficking.
Oh, shit, okay.
Which is...
Epstein level or just...
Probably.
Damn, that's crazy. All I know is I was out there. I said I'm at Puerto Rico, and I didn't really do any kind of social media, obviously, out there. But I happened to like just open Facebook one night. I saw something about like, oh, Puffy. I don't know. I saw a bunch of kind of memes, but I didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Yeah, they were all about Puff, and I was like, something happened with Puff.
Yeah, I posted something on Facebook if you want to look at it later. It's literally like about how. Do you guys know who Suge Knight is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
He was the owner of Death Row Records when he was running with Dr. Dre. It was like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's record label.
Okay.
Like that's where Tupac went to when he died. And in the interview, he just talks about how like Tupac was possibly going to expose something about Puff Daddy.
Oh, really?
So I was telling my wife that I was like, that kind of brings up the old conspiracy theory about Puffy being the one who ordered the hit on Tupac. Because if it's true that he was going to expose him for something, like that's a good way to do that and then make it look like Suge was at fault, which everyone believes that Suge was the one who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's for our Tupac podcast.
Yeah, no, that's
coming soon.
Every Monday.
Oh man, I would love to do a Tupac podcast. Anyways, I'm glad you had how was your trip though? I know hopefully people are kind of interested in this. I was planning to kind of talk about German's trip because I am also interested in, and I don't think the audience knows this too well anyways, and this is kind of a way for the audience to get to know German.
The trip was I'll say it was cool. I mean, first of all, I've never been to Puerto Rico and never been to like a more tropical climate, if you will, or even more so like a humid, more humidity area.
Yeah.
So instantly you can feel it. If you've never been, if you have been, if you've never been, you're like you walk out, you're like Jesus Christ, you're like you feel it. You're like, oh man, it's warm, but it's like wet.
Yeah.
And like I said, overall,
that's what humidity is.
Yeah, I know. Well, again, it's hard.
German has described. German has just described humidity.
It's just, yeah.
It's warm but wet.
It's like a steam room almost, kind of.
Like the spa room in Metal Gear 2.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, it was fun. I don't want to like dwell on any kind of negative impressions that I had concerning event people, but I'm gonna look at the positives, and it was cool, man. I mean, the whole resort was. I think I took like 2 or 3 pictures, honestly, because I'm not a big picture guy. I'd rather kind of see it with my own eyes and live through my eyes versus through the phone, because they never do it justice. They never do it justice. A photo will never compare to what your eye sees. But it was cool, man. It was, like I said, the hotel was really nice. I mean, it was super cool to be out there, and then like it started raining, and the rain was warm. Remember, Kriss? I think many years ago when I first met you, I had always talked about wanting to be in like the warm rain, and you're like, oh yeah, if you just go down south into the tropics or whatever, you'll get that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's freaking cool, man. It started raining, and it was like it's warm. Like, dude, this is like in the shower, man. This is kind of cool.
Yeah,
yep.
Mm-hmm. And it on like my mini bucket list, if you will, was always to go swimming in the ocean during the rain. So I kind of did that, because it was fucking raining, and I'm like, well, let's go to the fucking ocean.
Nice.
And we went to the ocean, and the waves weren't huge, but they were.
They had some force behind them, right?
Enough to, I was like, oh, hell no. And I was with my wife, and there was plenty of times where, like, she got knocked back pretty hard, and I was like, all right, let's get it back.
Well, I mean, you think about it, each gallon of water weighs about 5 pounds. There's many, many gallons of water hitting you at each time, so it's a lot of force.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought Kriss was just about to say, there's many, many gallons in the ocean.
Absolutely.
I've just described the ocean.
No, but there was like waves that would come in that were kind of like the wave pool at your local, wild island or whatever.
Yeah.
Where like you can just jump over them or kind of, go underneath them. And you're like, whatever, it's no big deal. But then there are ones that were like breaking early for whatever reasons, and those were just slap you. You're like, oh fuck,
Yeah. And the difference is too, since the wave pools are like contained.
Yeah.
There's no real like undertow.
Yeah.
That will pull you back in.
Yes.
Those wave pools are just, they'll push you, they'll throw you around, but the ocean will fucking pull you right back into the ocean, which is kind of scary. It's like, oh my god,
all around, yeah.
And people die because of it. Like they're not paying it. Like that's why I'm glad you're like, yeah, let's go back a little towards the shore because you could get fucking pulled out there.
Well, what I don't remember what movie I saw, and there's like a line in there that says like never turn your back on the ocean or whatever, and that's fucking true as well, because when we started kind of going backwards, I turned my back to look at to help my wife and help her like pick her up, and let's go backwards, and I instantly realized like, wait a minute, and I turned around, and sure enough, here comes another little wave, and I was like, and jumped it, and it hit me hard, and I was like, damn, if my back would have been to that one, bam, I would have gone forward, and then who knows what happened after that, Yeah, it's you always be cautious of the ocean, and that saltiness, that salty. It's hard to get used to it because I'm so used to swimming. For anyone who doesn't know, where I live out here, and there's a lake, a very nice, clean, crystal clear lake that's always frozen, and so. But it's clean, it's the water, if you will.
It's so nice.
So you get splashed in the face, whatever, no big deal. It's just water. Here, it's like you get splashed in your face, and you go to wipe your face off, and then you just taste the salt at every freaking. You're like, ah, damn it! It's just just sticks with you.
Just out of curiosity, what did you think about the temperature of the ocean?
I thought it was good. I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't it weird?
Was it like 80 degrees or something? It was pretty warm.
It was warm for sure. It was warm.
I'm not a fan of that. I can't do it.
Really?
Oh, you talked about that. You said you didn't like it because you don't feel like you're cooled off or something, right?
Well, when I go swimming, I like to feel refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You go swimming in lakes and rivers and stuff. It's usually pretty cold. When you go swimming in the warm ocean, there's just something about it. It doesn't sit right with me.
I hate cold water like that. I love ocean water because it's I didn't get to experience it when we went to Tampa last year. Well, we should have gone to the beach or something, but we didn't. I did take my wife when we went to Southern California for Knott's Berry Farm and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took her down to Huntington, I think. I don't even remember, but obviously not as warm as the Florida water or Miami or Puerto Rico, but definitely it was probably like 70 degrees, maybe like pool temperature, like that. It wasn't cold, and it was just
doable. Yeah,
it was doable. Like I hate if the lake you're talking about is the one where we grew up. I hate that lake. It's so fucking cold. I hate it. Like as a kid, sure, because I was invincible and whatever, but like
as an adult,
yeah, I've been skinny all my life and it hasn't changed. Like as soon as I put my legs in there, I'm like, I hate this. I hate this so much. This is why I don't like going to the beach. But that's what I told my wife. I was like, either we're moving to Japan or we're moving to Southern California because I love Southern California beaches. That I can see why people are there all the time. The thing that sucks is the area. Living there sucks and it's expensive, but the beaches are awesome. I don't know about Japan beaches, but hopefully they're dope.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the water was great, Kriss. I didn't mind it. Like I said, I always wanted to try some warm water, and I did. And again, maybe hotter water might not be my thing, but those waters were fine. We did.
That's the thing, though. I can do like hot tubs. I'm fine with hot tubs. If it's hot,
I don't like
fine.
hot tubs, and I hate hot tubs.
It's when it's like body temperature. It's just like, why? What's the point?
No, and see, for me, hot tubs, I can do them for like 5 minutes. Like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't like them.
I love hot tubs.
Yeah,
but no, like, and then just to kind of end up on that too, like, we did a snorkeling trip. I'm not the best of swimmers, and I'm decent, but not the best. And my wife is definitely not. Let's just say, not even a swimmer. Like, she doesn't even really know how to float, and she just wants to try it though. And so we you put on your flippers and your goggle, and they gave us little floaties. I got in there and I felt just fine. I was like, okay. She tried it and she's like, I'm done. Like, she was just scared. I'm like, cool, don't worry about it. She got out, and then I remember I was like, okay, well, let me start snorkeling. And I put my face down to look downwards. Yeah, dude, it was like at least 15 feet, of depth. And for like that split second, I said, "Oh shit!" You realize like, yeah, this is deep. This ain't no 8-foot section in the pool. This is 15 feet of ocean. And so I did panic a little bit, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "No, remain calm. You can tread water. You'll be fine. You got the floaty." I tried it, man, but it was those flippers made it harder for me. At least I felt like I was burning.
You're not used to. Yeah, you're using new muscles.
Yeah, dude, I felt like I was burning so much more energy trying to stay afloat and swim with those. And I was like, dude, my legs were tired. And plus, we've been swimming the previous day, all day in the pool in the ocean as well. So I was like, dude, I was already beat up, So I was like, yeah, I'm done. I got out. And the guys were like, you done? I'm like, yeah, I'm done, dude. And they're like, you sure, man? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and then like afterwards, and my group, they did plenty of snorkeling. They were way out there. I'm like, yeah, these guys are better swimmers than I am. And then on the way, when someone was coming on the way back, they didn't have the flippers on them. And I was like, oh shit, man. I was like, I would have taken my flippers off too then if I would have done that. And I talked to the dude, and I was like, oh man, I was like, you took off your flippers? Like, yeah, dude, that shit's hella hard. I'm like, I know. That's why I called it quits, because the flippers made it hella hard. He goes, dude, I took them off. I can swim better with my feet than the flippers. I'm like, dude, I should have done that too. So it's still on my list to go try it again.
Yeah.
Like I said, I definitely would love to be a better swimmer, so I'm not as afraid.
It almost sounds like the next time any one of us goes on vacation, like we need to do like 2 weeks of like exercise.
Yeah, no shit.
just to get ready for whatever is going to come our way.
And you know what's funny is like they say that you're more buoyant in the ocean, right?
Okay. Oh, really?
Because of salt water, it's definitely.
Oh, yes.
And what's funny is in the ocean at the resort, yes, I was said, okay, let me try and float. And man, without even trying, just like whoop, just kind of float. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, And out in that ocean, in the scuba diving, or what do you call it? No, the snorkeling. I was fighting my body's natural tendency to go buoyant, and I was fighting the stupid little, because it wasn't like little arm floaties. It was like a flotation belt. It's supposed to help you, float your back side up so you can lay flat, if you will.
Yeah.
So I was fighting. My body wanted to float. I was fighting, and that's why I also was getting tired, because it kept trying to pull me, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh shit, So I kept trying to go like vertical, and my body just kind of wanted to, naturally just float, and the thing was trying to pull me. The point is, after I got out, even like the next night, later that night, I was going through that, and in my head, I said, damn, dude, that should have been easy. I should have been able to snorkel pretty easily. I would have floated in the ocean just naturally. I should have taken off my damn flippers, and I should have not fought the little floater, and I could have snorkeled a lot more. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. I learned. Now next time I'll give it a shot. And
yeah, because that was only one day.
And it was only like about an hour snorkeling, and then like about another hour at a party beach, because then after I went to a beach where just a bunch of boats show up and everyone just blasts music and they all kind of go to drink or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah. But anyways, like I said, the trip was awesome. It was cool.
Did you at any moment feel like Snake sneaking into Shadow Moses Island? Did you look for the ration in the left side under the water?
Okay, so there was a contest. It was 2 nights. They had 12 turtles scattered around the resort, and you had to take pictures of them. Each picture you took would enter into a raffle to win a prize. During that section, man, you were kind of roaming the resort, dude. It kind of felt like you were in the sneaky mission, because you were trying to grab these turtles without other people knowing that you found one, because you're like, hey, it's an advantage for me if you don't find it, It did feel like, especially towards the nighttime, there was definitely some moments where you did feel a little like, dude, I'm sneaky, like, oh, I see one, you're like, okay, and just kind of nonchalantly walk over, kind of go through the bushes, and you take that picture and get the fuck out,
or better yet, you find it, keep an eye, or try to remember where it was, and then come back later.
Yeah, exactly. There was a bunch. I was like, I saw 3 on my way here. I remember where they're at. I'll come back later when there's this dark time. Towards the, what was it, third night, I think it was, or something like that. I don't remember his name. He's some kind of higher up leadership, but I never got his name, so I don't really know who he is. He came out and he goes, hey guys, he goes, so I got something serious to talk about. He goes, I just got off the phone with the FBI. He goes, something serious is going on. And we're like, oh shit, so a lot of people are like, whoa, what the fuck? So unfortunately, there's been a kidnapping, and we need to address this, and this is serious. And I was like, damn, what the fuck, what's going on? And he goes, it was called Tito, and he goes, 2 Tito turtles have gone missing, and then everyone starts laughing, right?
God
and he goes, yeah, laugh now. He goes, but just so you know, they do have AirPod or Air tags in them or something like that. Right? So hopefully they show up.
Someone's fucking holding on to them.
Yeah. And so sure enough, like, because there was like a little app that we could use to post pictures and like, hey, what's up? Whatever. Just it was like literally like a superstar Facebook app is what it was. And all of a sudden, like at least one of them, I'm sure both turned up, but for sure one of them was like, hey, Tito showed up or something, And then I also said, dude, we weren't the only ones there. There was other natural random guests there. I'm like, one of those guys could have taken it for all we know,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted more food. I'll be the first to say this. I'm not a big drinker, and it was open bar.
Yeah.
And these bartenders, either they did not know how to make drinks or they didn't care. They just wanted to get you drunk because, dude, it was impossible to get like a well-made drink. They were all like 80% freaking alcohol and, 20% the rest. So I was like, dude, I literally had to go to one and be like, yo, man, I'm like, literally, give me nothing but cranberry juice. And then I took a sip out of it. And then I was like, okay, just put a little vodka on top, because otherwise they would do the opposite, do
Yep.
all vodka, a little bit of cranberry. But anyways, not enough food for me. I'm sorry. I'm a foodie. I'm a junk. I'm one of those guys where I was like, for one of the dinners, it was like a plated. And it was like a tiny little piece of filet mignon, a little bit of potatoes. And I was like, bro, I'm like, I want more food. Like, and you have people walking around, more champagne, mojitos. I'm like, no, bring me some more steak, dude. I'm hungry, dude. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that's, to me, I agree. When you go traveling, food.
Yeah.
You can get drinks anywhere, man. Fuck the drinks. What's the food like out here? What's the unique stuff? What's the hole in the wall? Where can I find the food that I can't have back home?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
One of my dreams is to go on a cruise one day. And one of the big reasons for that is because of all you can eat buffets and stuff. Like that is definitely one of the big reasons I want to go on one of those.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, it's all about it's funny as hell because like you get to a point where you're just like, dude, I just want to eat a lot of food, but like not overgorge yourself, but just a lot of
variety.
Have that option. Say, hey, I'm gonna eat this. Today I want, a bunch of chicken wings, and then for dinner I'm craving a fucking bunch of pasta or whatever,
Yeah.
But no, like I said, hopefully, I found out, I didn't know this, you can only go once every 3 years. So
okay.
I'm ineligible for the next 3 years. Next up is getting you out there, Luis.
That's what our coworker Ryan was saying. Yeah, he was like telling me like, yeah, man, fucking like now like either you or me got to go, and I was like, nah, man, that means I got to put effort into this job. Like, I'm good right down the middle. It's fine. Like if I happen to be one of the lucky ones, cool. But anyway, that's work stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a good trip. Let's move on to Metal Gear stuff.
Yes.
Metal Gear the podcast.
No, I'm sorry. All right.
No, I did want to hear about it, and I wanted the audience the listeners to get to know at least you a little bit better.
Oh, well, and then why this episode is kind of all screwy too.
But yeah, so I'm going to mention some stuff about Metal Gear Solid that we actually forgot to mention last time.
Okay, hey, recap, yeah.
So, German, you said you've never had the Otacon ending?
You know what? If I said that, I
or you just don't remember it?
I don't remember it, but I remember having stealth camo, so I must have gotten it. I just
Right.
didn't remember if it was Otacon that drove the Jeep. I just couldn't remember that.
So do you remember a piece of information that gets revealed by the Colonel if you get that ending? Because
About Meryl?
Yeah.
I'm confusing whether or not what you're telling me or something that's revealed later on in Metal Gear 4.
It's that same thing. So,
Okay.
yes, if Meryl dies and you get the Otacon ending, Colonel Campbell reveals that Meryl was not his niece, but his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part where Chris goes, what?
Lay gasp.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gas? Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. What was that? The gopher? The surprised gopher?
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch it on loop. It cracked me up so much.
That was early YouTube.
So he does reveal it in
Yeah.
just one?
It's in the Codec Call, like after the Jeep crash and everything, and when he's talking to everybody, you know how like when you're like, Colonel Campbell doesn't give a shit about Nastasha. It's in that same conversation. Because Snake's like, sorry about Meryl, and he's like, well, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, not whatever, but he's just like, yeah, it's okay. I just, she was actually my daughter, and what happened, I guess, is that he had an affair with her mother. Basically, yeah, his brother's wife. He slept with his brother's wife, and that's how Meryl
Nice.
came to be. So, yeah, nice, Campbell. You fucking homewrecker. I don't even like. I don't know if that destroyed her family or whatever, but yeah, I'm sure that would have affected her if she ever found out about that.
Yeah.
All right, and then VR missions. We were talking about how like kind of wacky it is, and I forgot to kind of mention that it does wear its sense of humor on its sleeve. Metal Gears, all the Metal Gears that we've played have like a little bit of sense of humor, you know, and it's like a hint here and there. But VR missions for sure was like, let's get real weird, you know, like shoot down 2 giant soldiers with Stinger missiles, and here's a UFO. And I just wanted to mention that again because it just does get wackier from here. It's a very positive thing that Metal Gear series does not take itself seriously, and it's very self-aware. And that's what makes the whole series awesome. I think that's what sets this apart from other stealth action games. Other stealth action games are like really serious, you know, Siphon Filter, Splinter Cell. Those games are like really serious and stuff, and they're great stealth games. They're better stealth games, honestly, than Metal Gear Solid, but they just don't have that personality.
Yeah, that sense of humor really does set it apart.
Yeah. All right, so Metal Gear Ghost Babel. I kept calling it Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, but it's not. It's just called Metal Gear Ghost Babel in Japan, which I also think I really do think those initials mean Game Boy, because there's no way that's a coincidence.
Yeah.
And for us, it was called Metal Gear Solid, most likely to entice us fans to be like, "Ooh, did they port this? Let me play this." So this story, I don't really remember it too well. Maybe Kriss, you remember it better than I. But as far as I understand, the story is this happens 7 years after the first Metal Gear on MSX, which means that Metal Gear 2 did not happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it seems like an alternate timeline or something.
Yeah. This is like a Marvel's What If, right?
Honestly,
so it's definitely like a side, not a side, but yeah, that whole thing. A Majora's Mask, if you will, because Majora's Mask is also like did this really happen?
Okay.
Right? Split timeline, whatever. Maybe there's split timelines, Kriss. Maybe there's...
Uh-oh.
You didn't sound very stoked about that.
Oh, anyways. No, I was coming out of a yawn when I happened to sigh there. Sorry, that was not part of it. Yeah.
No, it's all good. I'm glad we bore you still. That's our goal here. We like to hear the Kriss yawns.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's sneaking into a fortress called Gallywade, I think.
Yeah, the name's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a place in Africa again.
Central Africa, yeah.
Central Africa. There's rumors of a Metal Gear. They basically pulled Snake out of retirement the same way they do in Solid, actually. Like, they have him in a room, and they have a bunch of, like, fucking guns on him, because you see all these red dots on him, and it's like, holy shit. One thing I didn't do is I didn't actually let that whole scene play out, like if you don't press start.
Oh, okay.
There's, like, a big-ass intro, like Metal Gear Solid. It lasts 14 minutes.
It does. Yeah. I thought it was part of the actual game. So
right, like it just started?
I didn't want to skip any of the cutscenes, so I was like, okay, I'll read all this. And I kept going and going and going. I was like, wow, this is a lot of like stuff to give in the beginning. And then it like does the title screen and, oh, new game. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? That wasn't even part of it? Like, what the heck?
So yeah, I mean, all that is part of the game. Like, they don't talk about that again later on. That's just part of the just the menu.
Yeah, it's like the prologue or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really bad at the story here, but Kriss, maybe you can enlighten us. Did you pay more attention than I did?
Probably not, but I'll try to fill in any gaps as best I can.
Yeah, I mean that's all I remember is Gallowade infiltrated. There's a Metal Gear there.
Something along the lines of like kind of the same thing, right? Like a rebellion or something like that.
Yes, yeah. So in that intro movie, did they talk about the Foxhound? Adjacent people?
Dark something?
Yeah.
Dark
oh my
Colander
gosh.
or some shit like that?
Dark Chamber.
Dark Chamber, yeah.
So there's 4 members of Dark Chamber.
Very weird name.
Yeah. I did like the naming conventions of these guys, even though I can't for the life of me remember what they are. I know the Boomerang guy is...
Hawk.
Something Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Owl. Something Owl was another one.
Marionette Owl.
Marionette Owl.
Yes, yep. Marionette Owl.
And then there's the Pyro Bison.
Yep.
The last guy.
Viper. Something Viper.
Something Viper.
Solid Viper, I think it was.
No, it wasn't Solid Viper.
Wasn't it?
No.
Deadly Viper or something like that.
Yeah. We did our research, guys. We did really good with this one.
We're definitely playing the game.
Yeah, sorry if you guys are big fans of this. we're kind of jacking this up.
Well, again, this is, at least for me, this is my first playthrough. And Kriss, I know it's his first playthrough. So,
yeah.
It's not like the other games where we like Metal Gear Solid, where we're like, oh yeah, I've played this thing like a million times, so I know,
And even Metal Gear 1 and 2, like we already knew the stories before we played them.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
this is all new territory.
We're new to this. Sorry. I'll try to do a little bit better for the next episode for the second half, just to bring the whole story together.
So I just looked it up. It's Slasher Hawk and Black Arts Viper.
Black Arts Viper. Okay, that's another weird one.
Okay.
Good. Thank you for looking that up.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So you hold on. I want to continue because I have something to say too.
I was just gonna say that in the first mission, the first stage is very reminiscent of the NES Metal Gear, where they drop you into a jungle and you have to make your way through and stuff. And it's kind of screen based. Like the camera does pan and follow you around. It is the traditional top down, but it feels great to play. Yes. It's so fluid.
Well, I was going to say, for sure, one of the features that I love in this game, and I wish this was what the binoculars were in the first two, how you could press up against the wall, and then you hold B, and it pans the screen a little bit.
So, it wasn't probably until maybe stage 8 that I discovered that feature.
No way, dude.
Did they tell you about it?
Nope, I just kind of happened to do it by myself.
Oh, man.
But I love that because I'm like, this is what the binoculars should have been, man. Like, you put them on and you can like hold B and then you could look forward and then let go of B and then just continue to walk without having to. Remember, I talked about that, about how you have to go back into your items, take off the binoculars. So I was like, I hated that. I like that a lot. I did want to say one thing that I thought was super funny. Because like I said, this is fresh in my head because I literally played it hours before this.
Good. It's fresher in your head than ours, yeah.
Yeah.
When Snake is talking to, what's her name? Carrie? What the fuck is her name? The chick, the last surviving member of Delta Squad or whatever.
Oh, Kris Jenner?
From the Kardashians? Yes.
Jenner, yes, Jenner. There you go.
Why is her name Kris Jenner? When I first saw that name, I was like, "No way!"
I thought
dude.
the same shit.
Like, what?
When he's talking to her, and she, she doesn't look like Meryl whatsoever, but it was Meryl vibes, like "I'm coming with you" kind of bullshit,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he goes, "No way, I'm not letting some brownie tag along or something like that." He says brownie.
Is that what he says?
He does. Yep.
I was like, whoa. I was like, hold the fucking phone, Snake. Because up until that point, for some reason, I thought we were in South America. And I was like, damn, dude. I'm like, but not only is it funny, a brownie, he calls her brownie, or he says a brownie. What kind of a term is that? It's always been a green or a greenie. I don't know, greenhorn.
Yeah.
Brownie. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, rookie or you're too green.
Yeah. Like I said, greenhorn. I just thought it was extremely funny that I'm like, a brownie. Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm looking at the art of it, which will be the artwork for this episode. Yeah, she is kind of like a redhead, but longer hair than Meryl.
I've only had like, I think 2 cutscenes already. I think that's the only one with her, the main one with her. Oh yeah, and when you talk to Slasher Hawk, dude, this is totally like anime vibes to me. Like it definitely, I can feel like it's got anime kind of characteristics to it, like the way the poses they're standing in, stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's kind of to me definitely rings anime. I
like Yoji Shinkawa's like starting to kind of let go more, right? He's like being a little bit more free with his art. Because Metal Gear Solid, like you could see his style coming out, but it's still very what's the word? Tame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's starting to be a little bit more like, okay, let me express myself here. And
well, I was gonna say, one thing that when I just beat Slasher Hawk, obviously, we always kind of find similarities to other games, or maybe even tributes. Not sure which ones they're supposed to be, or callbacks. But their Slasher Hawk totally had like a Vulcan Raven kind of vibe going on.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And, because he was like, oh, I'm one with the Hawk or the whatever. But his backstory, as short as it was actually pretty sad, about him, like, being abandoned, I think it was, he said. And that he was taken in by his parents. They were...
Aborigines.
There you go. But, like, the community or whatever just shunned them. Like, they didn't think they should bring him in or whatever. And it was kind of sad. He says when they died, they pretty much turned their back on him. They didn't like him to begin with. And he had nowhere to go, and he became a mercenary or whatever. And then when he dies, I thought it was kind of sad when he's like, oh man, he goes, the hawk will carry my soul back to my home. And he's like, oh, home. He goes, he's like reminiscing, like, that sounds good. And he's like, well, they let me in this time. And I was like, damn, dude, that hit.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, that kind of sucks. Like, even on his deathbed, this guy was like, still felt like, will I be welcomed back home? He's like, I don't even think I will be, So it was kind of a little like, even for this Game Boy game, there's a lot of soul and feeling in this, So that's as far as I've made it there. But I wonder what the backstory for the other guys will be. I wanted to ask, what you always ask this to Kriss, and this time it's my turn to ask it to him. What do you think is going on, Kriss? Who do you think is sus? Because we know shortly after we find out that the Alpha Squad or Delta Squad, whoever it was, got wiped out.
Yeah.
And Kriss Jenner is the last surviving member.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think you know that yet. But the point is,
that's not what she says.
She does say that. Yeah.
Yeah, she says that. Yeah.
No, but we didn't know that yet. We just knew they were wiped out, I think, at first.
But she introduces herself as the last surviving member because she's on the base.
Yeah.
No, I know. Okay, well, what I'm trying to get at is McBride, I think it is, which is his freaking codec call. I don't know. I can't help but feel like he's got like a very familiar look to him, like just a generic kind of white guy. But
You know who he looks like? He looks like fucking Doom Guy.
Doom Guy? Okay, maybe I can see that.
or the Doom Guy or the guy from Wolfenstein. Like if you look at the
yeah,
old pictures of him.
Yes, yeah. Wolfenstein with glasses. Or no, he doesn't have glasses here. Sorry, but
he's got that chin.
yeah. What McBride says, or no, Weasel says, somebody says like a traitor or a spy or some shit like that, and McBride's like, no, that's impossible. This mission is super secret, top. No one
super duper secret.
Yeah, pinky promise. Blah blah blah. And then Weasel's all like, "Hey man," he goes, "There's always somebody willing to fucking sell out for money, power, whatever." He goes, "Men, women," or no, he goes, "Women, men." He goes like, "There's always somebody." And McBride again is like, "No, that's not possible. Nobody on our squad."
I feel like that's pretty late in the game. Isn't it, Kriss?
It's not that late in the game, no.
Really? I don't know why my memory's making me think that that's pretty late in the game. Okay, I guess not.
Well, probably not. And also because you beat it twice already, and it's if I'm already at near 7 where our checkpoint was supposed to be, it's a short game then,
I didn't beat it twice. I just beat it once. But I was playing. I was testing different systems. Like, where's the best place to play it? So.
Oh, okay. But so Kriss, who do you think, because you and me haven't beaten it, so who do you think is sus to you right now? Who's your money on?
There's something about Weasel, and I don't know if it's the name, and I feel bad if it is.
Right.
but I'm kind of obsessed with Weasel. But now that you bring it up, McBride is kind of little sussy baka too.
Okay, so
it's because he's very by the books, right? Like,
yeah.
Sure. So McBride gives me obviously Master Miller vibes.
Doesn't he have the same frequency?
I don't know. That would be a good trivia. I don't know. It's 14152. Is that Mr. Miller?
I think that was
14180 is Miller's.
Okay.
And that's Weasel.
That's Weasel on this
one. Oh, okay.
52 is
Nastasha, maybe? I don't know.
I think so. I
remember when I used to manually punch him in, and then after a while, after my 5th playthrough, I was like, I'm just gonna call him in, because I'd like to scope him in. It was fun to kind of go through the codec or through the numbers, but
yeah, I think it's Nastasha.
But anyways, my money, or at least my suspicions are, Weasel is too easy to say. Like I said, his name and just his,
it's obvious.
His character is too obvious. If it happens to be him, then it's kind of like too damn obvious. But I don't think it's him because he's a kind of a mercenary for hire, if you will, almost. And it's said that he was something along the lines of being loyal to his buyer or whatever, something along those lines. So obviously I think this guy is like, look man, whoever's the highest bidder is where I'm going to go with, to an extent. Like he can't break his rules. It says something along those lines, like he won't break his rules. He's very honor bound almost. So I think Weasel's easy to suspect because of his name, but I think he's not. My money is on McBride because it's usually always that one guy that's like, no, this is impossible. Like, there's no way. It's like, dude, you're the one that's leaking information. Shut the fuck up, It's usually always that guy.
Yeah.
But that also makes me think, okay, if that's the case, then that's also an easy one to call out. I don't know. I'm going to throw this out there. I might be horribly wrong, but I kind of maybe think Kriss has something weird with this going on here. That's my money. I don't know, for some reason, just...
Jenner?
Yeah, I got a weird, like, I don't know. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, I thought he was talking about me first. I was like, what did I do wrong?
I know, we're going to have to...
Jenner. Chris is like, what the fuck? I'm telling you, man. No, I think Miss Jenner here is sus to an extent. Maybe she's not truly who she is telling us she is. You know, I don't know, because at least
right,
from what I remember.
How is she this last survivor, right? Like, how'd she get away?
That's what I'm trying to say. Well, and again, McBride looked her up, and he gave us all the info on her. But still, then they could be cohorting, or again, it could be that whole Master Miller thing where he's lying about Natasha, or purposely drawing out Naomi, purposely drawing out Naomi to, you know, draw attention away from him. Could be something like that. But I don't know. I just suspect her a tiniest bit. Again, she might not be an enemy. She just might be working for another group or something. Like, I expect to be betrayed by her or McBride. That's my money. That's where I'm at.
The lolly lule low.
That's why I expect to betray me. So that's where my money is at, and like, obviously, Noise, you beat it, so you can't really chime in.
So I am gonna chime in, bruh.
Okay.
How dare you not suspect Mei Ling? You guys haven't even mentioned Mei Ling.
Well, because she's the cute little person that tells you to save, you know.
Yeah, but this is an alternate universe.
I know, right? That's very true. I didn't think
this
about
is the
that.
first
it's an alternate timeline. I wouldn't say an alternate universe.
This is the first time technically that you're meeting Mei Ling, because this Metal Gear 2 didn't happen, and this in the timeline, this is before Metal Gear Solid.
That's very true. It literally plays hand in hand when she's like, they're like, oh, she invented the Soliton radar you're using. I was like, okay, really?
Yep. So I don't know. Maybe put her in the running for sus. She's way too way too cute to be on this mission.
Okay, I'll give you that much.
Another thing I want to kind of touch back on. I know you had mentioned German that Slasher's backstory was bad. Wait until you fight Marionette Owl.
Okay.
That is a tragic backstory.
Okay.
Like, that one almost got me. Oof.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of then, so I was actually even thinking that Kriss, Mrs. Jenner here, could have been one of these 4 members. You know, I was like, oh, maybe she's gonna end up being that marionette person. Like I said, I don't know if it is or not because I haven't made it there. Probably not. I thought maybe. I mean, hey, as far as I know, they're all silhouetted. Maybe she's Viper, for all I know. You know, what did you say? Black Arts Viper.
Black Arts, yeah.
Black Art Viper, yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be a male leader. You know, that's sexist.
It's true.
Yeah. This came out in 2000, so the world was a different place than in 1987.
and it is Kojima we're talking about here, who you'll see, Kriss. Kojima, he feels like a womanizer.
Oh yeah. Speaking of womanizing, yeah, Jesus Christ, Snake is he's fucking. What was he saying to fucking Jenner? He's like, oh, you're easier on the eyes than a thigh. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Snake. I was like, holy shit, dude, like, you don't change, bro.
Once again.
You know,
it's like his silver lining, because he's like, I'm on this mission I don't want to be on.
Yeah,
I might as well try to get somewhere. Like,
but what's funny is, like, we all know that he ends up ditching them anyways. Like, he leads them on, or he flirts with them.
Oh yeah, in Metal Gear 2.
And then he's like, bye. You know, I was like, wait, where'd you go? You know,
so like he didn't even like hit it and quit it. Like he
just ghosted her.
Yeah, he initiated a date. And like you said, then he ghosted her. Like, he went through the effort of actually setting a date.
Yeah,
and then was just like, nah.
Nah. No, I thought it was funny. He was like, in this game, he was already doing his shit again. I was like, dude, really, Snake? I'm like, all right.
Yeah. So some more mechanics. Okay, so the first part is the jungle, and then it's like, here's like the intro screen, right? Like, you look at this big ass building, and it's like Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after that? Then you're sneaking into the building, I think? The first building?
Have to, because I think that's when you're sneaking into the tower. Oh, no, that's not until later. I was going to say you're trying to find what's her name, but no, that's not until later.
The first mission?
Is the first doors, are they there the first time? You know what I'm talking about? The door puzzle?
I think so.
Oh, where you got to like go downstairs into the drainage area?
No.
Oh. There's
like all those gates you had to go through. And
stuff.
Yeah,
that was. I didn't think that was much of a puzzle, but yeah.
Well, if we don't remember, it's not important, obviously. But you do get into the tower, and you're supposed to make contact with Jenner.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Kriss got lost. the first time.
Just really got lost. Okay.
Tell them your story.
Okay, so I had like what was up to like card 2 at that point, and I was going through, and I must have missed the right door. I don't know how I missed it, but I had gone through all of those doors 2 or 3 times, and I could not find where I was supposed to go. I could not figure out where she was. And so I remember I'd messaged you guys, and I was like, I don't know where to go. I'm lost, blah, blah, blah. Like, what do I do? And Noise was like, oh,
just push forward.
Yeah, just keep going. I was like, but I can't. Like, I've gone everywhere. Like, I don't know where to go. And he's like, okay, well, use a walkthrough if you need to. It doesn't matter if you get spoilers or whatever. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to keep trying a little bit longer before I resort to that, because I want to give it a good try. I said, but I don't know what to do. And I remember there was one particular time where I thought I had almost soft locked myself. Because like when you alert the guards, I don't know if you've noticed this, all the doors in that room will open.
Yes.
The ones you can access, at least, as far as I could tell.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize at the time that it was only the ones you could access. And I had gotten stuck in this room because I went up to this door and I was like, oh, I can get out this way, blah, blah, blah. And so, the alert went away. Then I was stuck in this room for a while, and I don't know how I got stuck in there. And I'm trying to get out, and I had my card equipped and everything, and it wasn't working. I couldn't get through either door. And I was like, what the heck? I'm stuck in here. And eventually I got the door to open, and it's like, okay, it must have been a glitch or something, or the game realized, like, you're not supposed to be in here. How'd you get in here? Let's get you back out, kind of thing. And apparently it was one of those things where I don't know if it was like pixel perfect where I had to open the door. But that room that I was in, had I kept going, I could have gotten... That was exactly where Jenner was, like in the next room or the room after that or something like that. And I kept beating myself out. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I couldn't open this before. I tried. I've been in here. And it was just one of those things where it was just like, I don't know if I was just one pixel off from not opening the door or what it was. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I'm glad I kept trying. But yeah, I eventually got through and made it through fine. But yeah.
I did notice that with doors. Like you had to be like, I guess not pixel perfect, but it's like at the right half of the door or something. Yeah. If you were like at the bottom half or something, like it wouldn't open. So which was a pain in the butt. But I did notice like not exactly a trick, but if you just like walk by them instead of walking up to them, if you walk by them, they'll open.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
So that was kind of like my way of being like, okay, is this door actually open? Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, I wanted to bring up now that you mentioned it, Kriss. The guards in this game are also very, very reminiscent to freaking Metal Gear 2, where they're on you like fucking flies.
They know exactly where you are.
Yeah, but I mean, they just they get right on you. It feels like they shoot like shotguns because it's like a little wave or something. But the point is, they'll like fucking butt you with their guns and knock you down, and they just stay on you, and you're like, dude, get off of me, bro.
Dude, and those hitboxes are gnarly. Like they will hit you with the butt of their gun.
Oh, no shit, dude.
Fucking hella far away.
I mean, I love the detail. It's super cool, but they are freaking annoying, just like in the first game. And speaking of annoying, I don't know if there's more dogs later on, but I got past the part with dogs a little earlier.
Yeah,
those fucking dogs are even more annoying than the NES versions. At least in the NES versions, you can kind of sit there and punch them, and these guys are like, wow, bang. I'm like, fucking, I mean, again, I shot them. I was like, fuck you, man. Bang, bang, But I feel like they didn't stop spawning. So then I remember, Luis, you were talking about how, like, you can kind of deactivate the alarms by sometimes even zoning out. But even with that, you can totally exit a room and then, like, literally, like, maybe count, like, half a second and then go back the opposite way. And you can kind of keep doing that back and forth through a room, and the timer will just keep going down.
Oh, I didn't think of doing that. That's a good idea.
And because it takes a minute before a guard will come through that door you exited.
Yeah, and show up on screen.
Yeah, you just kind of keep jumping back and forth through screens. You'll get that timer down to 0, and then so I was like, I've been using that a lot, and
that's a good idea.
It's super convenient. I definitely do think at least alerts in this game are definitely where they need to be, where if you get caught and you run to the next screen, it's not an instant,
Oh yeah, like in Metal Gear 2,
you have plenty of time to go hide behind a corner, put your box on. I mean, like I said, I only do that every now and then, but even if I don't do it, I'm just gonna keep running because it's totally cool. It's not annoying. They're not gonna see me again because the AI or whatever you want to call it, there's programmed pretty good. Again, except for them hovering on your ass, it's still pretty good. But like I said, we kind of glossed over this crawling in the grass and in the mud and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Little details. I don't know how much more of that there is later in the game, but just that section, I do remember seeing a snippet somewhere online of that exact, the first time you see the grass and that you can crawl in it. And back in the day, I'm thinking like, oh, that would have been cool. But again, by the time I saw that snippet, I was already playing freaking Metal Gear 3 or something like that, you know? So I was like, whatever, doesn't matter. But it is kind of cool to play this old school kind of style game that has a bunch of mechanics that carry over. Maybe not, Kriss, don't know.
I don't know how they fit it all in that little cartridge, man. Like,
no shit, dude.
Because it's that they figured out the programming for it to program the things that they programmed into this game. No other Game Boy Color game does that. Like it's so intricate, it's so detailed, it's so deep, and then it's deep with the story too. Like I can't think of a single Game Boy Color game that is so involved. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I played some Game Boy Color games. Like I played the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons on from Zelda, which are really just kind of Link's Awakening clones because they're kind of using the same engine. They
kind of are. Speaking of that box puzzle, totally reminded me of that. So one of those games, yeah. The colors, the schemes, like, yep, this is a fucking Link's Oracle or Seasons, whatever. Version
with like the mine carts.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it totally made me feel. Have you ever played those, Kriss, or at least seen anything on them?
No.
So they're top down 2D Zeldas. You know, very reminiscent of like original Zelda on NES. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of like between that and like A Link to the Past, as far as like how detailed they are.
This game was released for Game Boy Color, so I think they were trying to show off the colors by using that little puzzle, you know, with wearing the blue box and the red box. And I was like, this is kind of cool. I was enjoying it. I completed it like literally about 30 minutes ago, so I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that I was telling Kriss that when I was like, when you get to the box puzzle, I think I put in the group chat. I was like, when you get to the box puzzle, start using save states, because that's where I was getting stuck. I was not exactly getting stuck, but I was just like getting frustrated because it would send you, if you went the wrong way, it would send you to a different floor.
Yes, that was annoying. It wasn't even that it sent you back to the beginning. Because there was a few that did that. It would send you to fucking another. And you're like, dude, I gotta go all the fucking way back.
Yeah, you gotta travel to the elevator, and I was just like, come on.
It was a little annoying. At the same time, being a Game Boy Color game, I can see why they maybe made that choice, just to add some more time. You know, pad down the time on there.
Pad for time.
Yeah, because I can see why, but I was like, bro, just send me back to the beginning of this puzzle, not all the fucking way out of here. This is so freaking... It reminded me actually of Metal Gear 2, was it, or 1? Where you got in the wrong truck, and you're like...
Yes.
You're like, motherfucker.
Those are the vibes I got. I was like, nope, I'm going to start... I just started doing save states right there at the beginning. If it sent me to a different floor, reload my state. I'm not dealing with this. Like, I've already...
No, man.
I've already done like 20 minutes of this.
Like, I was not bothered by it at all, and I made several mistakes, like a lot. You know me, I'm the world's worst gamer, you know, and I made a lot of mistakes, and it didn't seem to bother me that much.
Persistence is Kriss's middle name.
Yeah. I guess so, but it didn't bother me. Like after the second or third try, it's like, oh, I know exactly where to go from here, because by that point I had already been everywhere, you know.
You've done all the other paths.
Yeah. So that song popped in my head. I've been everywhere, mate. So,
I didn't use any save states either. And like I said, it annoyed me enough, but I was having fun with it. It just brought back some Zelda vibes to me. So I was like, oh, cool. I was like, this puzzle's kind of cool. I like it.
I think it's because I did the same thing Kriss did at the beginning, which is I've been everywhere. And then when I make a wrong turn, I make a wrong turn on accident, and I'm like, no, dude, like, come on. I know I was supposed to go that way, but I wasn't quick enough on the draw.
Yeah, you forgot, or you put the blue instead of red
box or something, and it's like, come on, dude.
I did. I don't know if you guys did try it, but I did do the classic. Like, wait a minute, what if I?
Yeah, what if you do the red one when it's only blue and yellow?
Yep, exactly. Yep. And it's like,
I did that. Yep.
What does it do? It just leaves you there.
It takes you back to the beginning.
To the beginning of the puzzle.
Oh no! Oh well, at least at the beginning of the puzzle.
Yeah. But it gets there, it scans you, and it goes like beep beep, and it
does
black.
like an error now.
Yeah, it fades to black, and then it's like, and it just puts you back and being like, okay, cool. They thought about that, because I was like, what does it go backwards? Does it break it? Does it alert guards? I don't know. I wanted to find out.
Kojima's team always they think of fucking everything. Like, what if the player does this? Like the whole Psycho Mantis thing again.
Yeah.
Where like, what if controller port 2's fucked? Like, what are they gonna do? But I did appreciate it. I did appreciate that puzzle. I was just already like No, I'm like,
No, I've
been here too long.
No, but the in the water drainage area, I thought that was kind of cool. It wasn't like a puzzle per se. It was just a little challenge, I guess. You know, you had to make it to the stairs before the water came in rushing.
Oh, that's what it was, Chris. So that's what happens before you get to the tower.
Yeah.
So you were right, German. When you said drainage ditch, I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
But there's a whole nother. So when I first started testing the game out on stage 2, I was getting lost on stage 2 because I couldn't find the stupid secret door to get to the drainage ditch. But not only that, there are 2 other buildings that also have ladders going down. And since everything looks the same, I was like, dude, is there one in the middle somewhere that I'm not seeing? And I didn't realize that they weren't at the top. It was at the bottom. It was at the southern part of the map. Mm-hmm. And I kept just ignoring that spot because I was like,
going up higher.
I kept going up higher.
North. You kept going north. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept going up north, and that's so I was just like, what the hell? But then then you finally it's in the center of the map, guys. If you're having trouble.
What's funny is my first playthrough, I had a little bit of trouble finding that card 1, that card to let you get through those gates.
On the northwest, ones.
Yeah. I don't know if I got lucky or what it was, but I happened to find that building like immediately after I got that card. Found it first thing.
Oh, nice.
Well, you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense because it's the path set forth to you.
Yeah.
With all the unlocked doors. And I made the mistake of wandering around, and that's when I got lost because you followed the path the way it set it for you. It's just like, okay, he's got the key. Now he knows he can unlock this door. And so you just...
But when I started my second playthrough, that's exactly what happened to me too. Was I found those other 2 buildings, and I went back and forth between them a few times. And I was like, where's the right one? Where's the right one?
Did you call them? Did you call Jenner?
And
she would tell you every single time. She'd be like, that's not the right building. That has nothing to do with the sewage system. And I did that. I did the same thing you did, just going back and forth. I'm like, dude, is there multiple buildings? Like, is there more than 3 or 4? It's just, I hadn't gotten used to the aesthetics of everything. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that was it. It was just my first playthrough. I got it pretty much immediately. And then the second one, I struggled a bit, but yeah.
No. Oh yeah, your first playthrough was on the PSP, and then
and then when I got to
the first elevator,
I was gonna say I found you said that you weren't used to the aesthetics yet. I found these aesthetics to be much more easier to decipher what was the door and everything compared to Metal Gear 2, was it? No, Snake's Revenge.
Snake's Revenge,
yeah. I was like, oh, that's a fucking gate. That's clearly a door.
I had that same thought somewhere. There was like some kind of door, and I was like, German will find this one.
Yeah, there is a few of them that kind of, to me, I was like, is that a door? And I'm like, it must be something else, whatever. But no, for me, I kind of did the same thing. I naturally just wandered over, got the key card, and just naturally was going the right way. I mean, it's not like there's a whole lot of places to go anyways, but still, I was progressing pretty fucking smoothly. Did you guys find the 5.7 in the jungle, or do you get it somewhere else?
The pistol? I got it in the first... Is it the first stage?
Okay, same here. Because I feel like you could miss it because you're not forced to go buy it. You could totally miss
because it's in the northwest where it's like that semi maze like area.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's kind of like the Socom thing. If you missed it there, you'll probably get it later on. But still, I was wondering if you guys found it. But for me, once that chick, Miss Jenner, tells you, oh, it's a drainage or whatever. I'm like, oh, it's those little rooms I could see. It's like, okay, fine. That's where I need to go. And I found myself in where the building door is, or that section door is. I found myself there, and I was just kind of pushing up against the wall, and I was knocking on it, just checking, like, oh, it looks suspicious. I'm like, oh, it's probably a C4 area here or something like that, right? And I was knocking on it, and I could hear that, and I started, what'd you call it, Luis? Sidling? I started sidling.
Yeah.
And I could hear the door. I was like, whoa, I must be triggering a door on the other side of this wall or something like that, So I was trying to, me try to glitch the game or figure out if I can bug it or something, And I kept doing that, and I couldn't. I'm like, man, why does it sound like there's a door here? I'm glitching something, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, whatever, back to the game. And then I go into that one of those rooms, and I'm like, how do I get into those stairs? And I see that door that's facing, north. And then I, walk out, and I was like, oh, it's that. And I'm not gonna lie, there is no indicator from the outside that the door is there unless you saw it from the inside.
From the inside, yeah.
I'm not lying. Like, a little kid, I'm just imagining some little 8-year-old kid or something like that. He would probably not know how to get into that fucking section. I don't know. At least in my opinion. But
it feels like they were kind of gatekeeping right there. Like, if you don't pay attention to detail,
yes,
you're not going to get past this stage.
No, you're definitely not. So
this is a true test of like, if you can't do this, you definitely can't make it through the rest of the game.
No, and so I didn't get it first shot either. I got the wrong one, and then because I was kind of skipping the not really skipping the codec calls, but I was kind of breezing quickly through them. I was like, did I miss something? Was I supposed to do something? And I called her, and she's like, that has nothing to do with it. I'm like, oh, okay. And I tried the next one. That has nothing to do with it. I'm like, damn it. I'm like, I was hoping I could get it on the first try, and I didn't. But that little water thing was kind of cool. I was gonna say, oh, by the way, does anyone else when you're reading these what do you call it, sentences or this dialogue, the beeps and the boops, like, do you hear words in your head? Because I clearly hear the words that they're saying, even though it's just beeps and boops.
I don't, but I noticed that they have different tones for different people.
Yeah, they do. And they also, what's the words? What's that when you call it? When it's got when you say like syllables, like the beeps and boops.
So you're saying like the actual corresponds to how many syllables the sentence has.
At least
I see what he's saying. I don't know if there. I don't think he's saying like there's a direct correlation. Like if a word has 3 syllables, it'll have 3 beeps. But I understand what he's saying, and that there's almost like a.
Yeah, no. Well, like I said, I haven't been able to prove it because it's quick. But no, Kriss, I'm almost sure that each word, if it's got 2 syllables, it's got 2 boops in that word, and I feel like it even goes like how you would say the word like metal. It goes toot toot, and because you're reading metal and you hear toot toot, you hear metal. Again, it might be a psychosomatic kind of thing for me, but
I'll check it out again.
I can clearly hear the words when I'm fucking reading it. I'm like, dude, it sounds like I'm hearing these words in my head.
I wonder if that's like a detail that they were like, this might help them read and retain the information better. So if it's true, then I could kind of see that. Yeah.
Check it out again. Let me know if I'm wrong, but that's what I clearly feel it, because I feel like they do correlate to syllables versus older NES games or even other Game Boy games where it's just like and it doesn't correspond to anything that you're reading.
Yeah, and well, usually the beeps correspond to how many letters are in the word. That's what I always notice in other games. It's always like every single letter as it's being typed out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, trust me. Like, replay this and at least pay some attention. And maybe now that I've mentioned it, you'll hear the words, because I can hear them. And I think that's, if it's done on purpose, that's awesome. If it wasn't done on purpose, then that just means I'm kind of crazy and freaking can hear words. Or I can hear letters or something, or whatever you want to say.
Well, it's apparently the same thing with like some GIFs. Is some people, if it's associated with a video or something that contains audio, there are some people that if you play a certain GIF will hear that sound. Oh, really? And I've never understood that. Like, it doesn't work for me. So I don't know.
Okay. I can taste colors, so you know that too. but no, there's another section in this game that we also kind of almost forgot to mention. Now that we're kind of going in chronological order here, then the part where you had to find Kriss Jenner, you had to go find her in her red hat with the long hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't. Again, I was like, so I was like, okay, here's a blue cap guy, and here's a green cap guy, whatever, and so you're just kind of cruising around, going where the game kind of lets you. And that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I personally thought I was like getting lost. I was like, dude, am I supposed to be going here? Should I have met her already? Like, I just kind of kept pushing and thinking to myself, dude, I was gonna get so mad, because a lot of times that happens to me. Is I will unconsciously go the way that you're not supposed to go until you reach a certain checkpoint or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like I'll make it to like the final boss room, but I don't have the boss key. And like, motherfuckers, I gotta go all the way back to go find the boss key. And so I'm like, dude, am I gonna get to the end of the sequence that I'm on right now, just to find out, to get a codec call from Campbell and being like, yo man, go find Kriss before you continue on, But no, like that sequence led you to her. I thought that was a kind of a cool little puzzle, or whatever you want to call it, a sequence there, because it reminded me obviously of the whole Meryl thing. I thought this was kind of a little better than Meryl, because with the whole Meryl there was only 2.
Yeah, there's 2 other guards besides her. Like, who could it be?
Yeah, no shit.
The one guard that wasn't there before on the left side of this fucking room.
And freaking with this one, and didn't they do something like that too in Solid Snake, right? Where she was in an enemy's disguise and you had to sneak around and find her, right?
And even that one was better than the Metal Gear Solid because
yes, right.
All you had to do was just, well, I guess you could do it also in Solid, but all you really had to do was just wait by the bathroom.
Yeah.
The guard would show, or she would show up, and then she'd be like, look left and look right, and then finally she would go, if there was another soldier there, that's why she looks left and right, because if there's another soldier there, she won't go into the bathroom, she'll walk away.
Oh, really? See, I was wondering if she would do that. I was wondering if she would run away if she saw you, which would piss me. I never got to do that, but in this one, I did trigger an alert before I got a chance to talk to her, and she runs into that room, right, that she's right next to, at least where I found her, in some room. And so I'm playing an emulation, so I rewound a little bit. I rewound it, and I said, wait a minute, because it was going to remind me of Meryl running to the bathroom. And I said, what happens if I run up to her without triggering an outside guard? Will she also, set the alert and then run, or will she instantly talk to you? And she instantly talks to you. Like, it's kind of cool. You walk up to her. I actually tried to punch her, I'm not gonna lie, but as soon as I got close enough to her, it stops, and she turns around, or I think he says Kriss, and she turns around and she goes, Snake, come with me, and then she pulls you into that room. I'm like, oh man, I kind of wanted to see if I could punch her, man, or at least because when I went to go talk to her, her back was turned towards me, so I wonder if she would have been facing me, and I walked in her line of sight. If it would have changed anything to an extent.
And they even say too, they're like, don't shoot her, don't shoot the guard with the red hat.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to punch her. I'm like, I'm shooting, I'm sure I could probably kill her, and I should have done it just to see what it was, but she just kind of proceeds there. I thought it was kind of cool little puzzle. Like I said, it was fun, it was interesting, it was definitely more interesting than Meryl. It was definitely more, obviously better executed than you know what, I don't know if better executed, because the other one, you were going through the dining room, their sleeping bunks and all that stuff to go find her. So that was kind of cool too.
Yeah. So I think the difference between Solid and these other 2D Metal Gears with that kind of sequences, it is teaching you how to navigate the environment, because there's like little vents you can go into and hide from the enemy. They put you through some laser rooms. So I don't even remember if you get the thermals at this point, but you do have your what do they call it? Your fogger.
Your vape pen.
Yeah, because since this is Nintendo, there is no cigarette smoking for Nintendo games back then. So you had a fogger, a vape pen, an e-cigarette.
But again, it just says fogger. It doesn't even say that it's like an electric cigarette. I mean,
right? Yeah.
Why does he have this fogger? But with that said,
he has a little kid fake cigarette, so he blows on it for the dust. those old chewing gum cigarettes.
Yeah. What is definitely funny is that they tell you, like, he's like there's be careful, there's lasers there, and he says if you had some kind of vapor or smoke, you could see them. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. Mention the smoke, even though we're not talking about smoke. Again, it didn't say tobacco smoke, but it said smoke. And he goes, think hard. Do you have anything that could cause vape or smoke or fog and smoke or smoke? I was like, bro, I thought it was kind of funny. Like, you purposely went out of your way to call this thing a vapor because you didn't want smoking reference. And you're saying, do you have anything that could make smoke? I don't know. A little kid would probably think cigarettes.
I wonder if the Japanese original version just says cigarettes, because Japan kind of tolerates cigarettes more than the U.S. Mm-hmm. So it might have been Nintendo of America that changed it to fogger.
Possibly.
It's funny that you mentioned that when they're talking to you and saying, they're almost treating you like a dumbass. Like, would you happen to have, think, and they'll remind you too, like, okay, so Jenner said she's going to be wearing a red hat and she'll have long hair sticking out the back. Don't forget, Snake. And I can hear Campbell's voice telling me that multiple times. Like, maybe the beeps and boops are fucking words, because I clearly did hear their voices when I was reading it, and I was just like, Campbell, you know that this is not my first mission, right? Like,
and then you freaking rescue her, or not rescue, you make contact.
Yeah.
And the next part, as short as it was, as not that big of a deal as it was, it did piss me off when it's all like, okay, follow me now. I'll open all the gates with my level 3 card.
Yeah.
And she's like, she just walks like nonchalantly, and then you go into the next room, and she's already made it past the fucking lasers, and then you make it to there. She's made it past, luckily past all the guards with her fucking mask off, and I'm like, dude,
oh yeah,
really?
she doesn't have the
like,
head on anymore.
No. I'm like, all right, bitch, whatever, you know. So I found that again, whatever, just to add to the runtime there, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was a little annoying as an adult. Again, as a younger kid, I would have been like, oh my god, this was kind of cool, but I was like, really, like you're gonna make me traverse all this way back, and she's gonna have obviously no problems getting through any of this shit, but I'm the one that's got to sit here and, you know, navigate around the guards and the fucking lasers and
there's a part at the end too where you don't get that little cutscene anymore where it's like, here's where she went.
Oh yeah,
you just have to guess.
Yeah, yep. 2 rooms where you're like, did I almost thought I messed up.
Same here. I was like, fuck.
I was like, did I go to the wrong room?
Yeah.
And I just kept pushing. I was just like, I'll just go. I mean,
yep.
It can't be. The one thing I kept telling myself, like, it's a Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way it's gonna be this crazy, you know. So I was just like, just keep going. And luckily, I happened to pick the right path and found her.
Yeah, same here. And that leads me to believe, not leads me to believe, it makes me think. What if you couldn't find her? Let's just say, what if you are just going around in circles? Would the game eventually like call you and be like, "Yo, man, like you lost her. Go back to where you found her and start all over," kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Retrace your steps or something. Would it force you to go back to the beginning? And she'd be there in that room, and she'd be like, "Snake, where'd you go? Okay, this time follow closely," and then you repeat the puzzle again, if you will.
That would be interesting if they had a little timer where if you don't reach her in a certain amount of time, it resets. Yeah,
just like Metal Gear 2, right? Remember that followed the guard with the red hat, or was it red hat? Purple
hat?
Green
that's
hat.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever color it was.
The green beret.
Green beret. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. Like if you didn't get to that screen transition quick enough, you would time out and you start.
But also, if you were
over.
too quick, they turn around and see you.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sequence was so funny. Like.
Yeah, I did notice that in this game. Yeah, once they go from alert to caution or whatever. No. Once they go from caution to, you know, all clear, they fucking do that fucking turnaround. Those fuckers. They'll like start walking away and they're like, they turn around. Like, you fucking asshole! You caught me. The first time I got caught, I said, okay, that's where we're going with this. I know now to just wait for them to fully leave the goddamn room.
And they hang around and they don't have like a path.
No.
They just kind of randomly start kind of like...
Oh, yeah, it's completely random, yeah.
Yeah, they just start wandering around. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Get out of here. Like, leave the screen, please.
I definitely...
Like, I don't start moving until I know they've left the screen.
Oh, sure.
That's what I learned.
I definitely miss some of MSX and Metal Gear 2's... mostly MSX's... soldier blind spots where you can literally just run up next on their left side and punch them. Like, these guys will kind of catch you. The hitbox of your punch is pretty generous. You can actually kind of hit them at a decent distance. So there's still a lot of little times where you're like, I shouldn't be able to punch this guy out, but I know I can, so I'll punch him out and just run by him.
So I'll give you a little tip with the punching. Because after I beat it, I was like, I'm gonna watch some speedruns. There's a thing called corner punching.
Okay.
So if they're around a corner from you, if you aim diagonally and punch, for some reason your hitbox is hella fucking big.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it'll just punch them from hella days away.
Yeah, it's crazy. I did that once by accident. I was like, what the heck? How did that work? Yeah.
Nice.
But they can also hit you around corners, so be careful.
Oh, yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, their hitbox is ridiculous.
No, yeah, I thought it was, like I said, kind of funny how, like, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 punches. I'm not gonna lie, because I just punch until they fall.
3.
Is it 3? Okay, so they fall down with stars. I'm like, okay, cool. They got little animated stars. I'm like, that's pretty cool detail. And then the next time they get up, you punch them once and they die.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was extremely funny because I was like, oh, okay. Because I was trying to get a good rating and not kill people, but they died.
What difficulty are you playing on?
I'm actually playing on normal. So
okay.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say I'm playing on easy, and 3 punches and then they're dead.
Oh shit! They don't even faint.
Whoa!
No, there's no faint. There's no stars. They're just dead. Yeah.
Oh damn!
Damn! So they're punishing you for playing on easy. They're not letting you even play the game without any kills. So you like, but it almost makes it harder.
Oh
it almost makes it harder because then you can't get spotted.
Every run I have gotten is terrible.
Oh yeah, same here.
So that makes sense now. Okay.
Well,
I started around good and ended around terrible by halfway through the game.
So for sure, my mission 1, I got caught once maybe, and I killed one guard because again I didn't know. I punched 3 times and I punched another one 3 times, and then he came back to fight because they got up pretty damn quick. He came back and I punched him and he died. Well, again I didn't know he was dead, but I'm like, oh shit, did he die? And so when I beat the first mission, yes, it said, I think what like freaking 10 minutes, not even 8-minute mission. And it said, alerted like 2 or 3 times, and it said guards killed like 2 or 3, and it said terrible. I was like, damn. I was like, really? I was like, shit, I thought at least I did okay, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then like the next mission, I got a terrible as well. And I had a couple alerts, and I think like 2 or 3 kills. And I said, okay, I'm gonna try and fucking not kill anyone and get alerts on the next mission. And I did. I did not kill anybody, and I did not. It was the one where I don't remember which section it was, but the point being is no alerts. No kills. I took a little bit of time on it because I was wandering around looking for where to go. So my time on that mission was maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And I still got a terrible. So like, god damn, like, so you just gotta book it, I guess, just to
That's
get it.
That's what I was gonna say. I think the timer is the most important one. Yeah, because there was some levels where I was like, oh man, I did great, and then it's like terrible, and I was like, bro, they're all zeros. What the heck? I'm like, it's the freaking timer.
No, it's definitely the timer. Because like I said, I saw all my zeros. Like I said, my timer was like at 20. I'm like, dude, you must have just had to run.
That makes me wonder if you could just murder everybody on the way and alert everything. But as long as you make it through the time.
As long as you get a low time. Yeah, that's a good.
Will you get good? Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, it really feels like there's a good chance that this game isn't really holding kills against you. So at least not many, so. Especially
if Kriss is playing on easy, and if you could punch dudes 3 times and they die, that better not be holding it against your rank.
That would suck. The rations, they don't auto use, do they?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Oh, they do. Okay, I haven't actually equipped one, so I don't. I've used them, but I just never left one.
Yeah, and the keys are the same as before. You have to have them equipped to open the door.
Yeah, at least they override the keys. So that's nice.
Yes, yeah, they took notes from Metal Gear Solid.
Solid, pretty much, yeah. So, well, Solid did kind of that. They did 1 through 3 was 1 key, and it became like the red key.
Oh, two did.
2 did.
Metal Gear, Solid Snake.
Oh, Solid Snake. Sorry,
yeah.
I thought you meant Metal Gear Solid.
No, sorry, yeah. 1 to 3 became red or something, and then 4 through 6 became blue, and then 7 through 9 or whatever became green card.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't find that the first time.
Oh, dude, you got kids.
It wasn't until I got to like level 6 cards, and I was like, oh wait, what? You can consolidate these now?
And there was no gold card, right? There wasn't nothing that consolidate all 3 of them, right?
No, that'd be awesome. There was just 3 master cards for the 3 different, because there's 9 freaking cards in that game.
Yeah, no shit. I know. I remember when I was like, when I saw that room and I got my first consolidated card, and then I saw there was 2 more doors, one to the north, one to the west, or the east, and I was like, is there 9 fucking key cards? And
I didn't even make that connection.
Sure enough, when I got to fucking number 6 or whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and consolidate. And then I think even before I had a chance to consolidate, I got the 7th one or something. I was like, oh, dude, there is fucking 9 key cards. God damn.
So I was gonna say one thing I am glad about in German. I don't know if you had any issue with this at all. So my first playthrough, when I kept crashing at the
first elevator.
I'm glad I restarted. I'm glad I didn't just do the save file over to my PC and play it on there, because when you're down in the sewers at that last part and there's the 2 ladders you can climb up, right? I went to the first one and I saw, there's ladders further over. I want to see where those go, but I figured that was like where you were supposed to go. And so I climbed up that middle one and went up, and it's like, you completed the stage at that point, blah, blah, blah. And so you go on from there. And I never went back to explore what was back there. And I'm glad that I restarted the game, because that's where the yellow box was. And so I would have gotten all the way to that box puzzle without that yellow box. And I would have had to backtrack all the way back there to get that, because you can't even get any of the other boxes with that yellow box.
Well, that's a good point. Like, can you backtrack?
Yeah, because it's all the same level.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the same stage. And yeah, the guide is like, hey, now you're going to reach the room with the conveyor belts. And guess what? If you then grab the yellow box, you have to backtrack all the way back to the sewers to go get it. And I was like, damn, man, I'm glad I fucking got that right away. Holy shit.
I got that, yes, right away as well.
That would have been awful.
Yeah.
I thought, that section was kind of cool. I kind of, it was funny. At first I thought it was going to be a boss, actually, when you get down there and the rats run away. The first rat runs away and Snake's like, rat or whatever, And then more of them run away. And I was like, oh, they're running away from something, obviously. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to fight a boss. You get to the next screen over, and then the guards are like, what are you still doing here? That's where I was kind of confused. Just like, we're supposed to go back. I didn't hear no orders about that. I was like, what the fuck's going on? It just seemed kind of like mindless chit chat, you know? They're like, oh, they're getting there. No one ever told me. Yeah, man, because the waters are coming. Oh, well, then let's get out of here or whatever, you know? And so I thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So like, that's what they were running from, I guess. Rat flees a sinking ship kind of mentality, I guess, is what they were kind of going with. Yeah, I thought part was kind of cool. And I got the yellow box, so yeah, I'm glad I got that too. I actually didn't notice that middle one had went all the way up. I just made it all the way to the right. And then I was like, what do I fucking do now? And I was thinking like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I went back down there and I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, maybe because there's one ladder that you can't reach because it's like, what the fuck was all that stuff?
It's anyways? Like leaves or something, like debris.
I thought it was like rocks. Yeah,
trash.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
So I thought there was one ladder that was on that crap, and I was like, and I couldn't walk on it. I couldn't do anything. And I'm like, oh, maybe I let the water push me onto it. So I let the wave grab me, and it pushes you back to if you will, a checkpoint. Not all the way back, but it pushes you, back enough.
Those little corner areas,
Yeah. And then, so I went back up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, where am I supposed to go then? And then I grabbed onto that first one out of those 3 or 4, whatever you want to call it there. And I noticed that. I'm like, oh, that one goes all the way up. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to go there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. And that was it. After that, you complete the chapter or the mission. And I thought the same thing. I'm like, damn, if I hadn't gone all the way, I wouldn't have got the box, not knowing it would come and play that much yet.
Oh, wait, you know what? No, you can't go back to previous... Can you go back to previous areas after a stage?
I wouldn't know right now.
Shit, I don't know now. The one I'm gonna try to test some things like that because once you beat it, it gives you stage select, so you can go to whatever stage you want.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see if maybe I can go back if I start off on that stage. I don't know if it's gonna give me all the items though, but I just want to see if I can backtrack to that. But I did the same thing. I went to the last one, and I was like, wait, where do I go? And like literally, I thought all of those had ceilings to them, so I was like, well, I can't go to that one, right? I'm like, I did go to that one, didn't I? But yeah, I kind of confused myself, and then I was like, oh no, this one does go further up and continues on.
I was gonna say for sure, like I said, when I started playing, I think it was at that section when I texted you guys, and I was like, dude, this game's fucking dope, dude. I'm loving this game. The ambition is huge, for a fucking Game Boy Color, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Like I said, when I got to that part, I was like, dude, this is fucking cool, dude. Like I said.
It felt like a full game.
If they, even with this limitations or in this exact style, if they were to remake this and make it longer or even release freaking Metal Gear 2 and 3 or something like that in this kind of format, I'd fucking
just
play
another
them.
one like this.
Yeah. I'd totally play it like this. It's nice, dude. It's kind of cool to go back to basics. I think I said this before on one of the earlier episodes. About kind of going back to basics. That feels nice, even music being done through beeps and boops, it's so nice. I don't get me wrong, I love me my full-blown orchestras and all that stuff in my video games nowadays, but this game reminds me of the imagination that not only did we have as consumers, but that the imagination had that the creators had. These guys were like, dude, I want this part to be scary, and they were limited to these freaking chips, and they made a sound that was scary. They made a sound that was exciting and mysterious, and it's pretty cool. This game's really, really good for anyone out there who's playing along or thinking about playing along. It's a good game.
Don't overlook it. Like it's a really good game.
Yeah.
The another thing I was going to say about that conversation those soldiers had down there, it reminded me of the conversation the two soldiers have in Metal Gear Solid.
When you sneak in,
So if you go through the bottom vent in Metal Gear Solid and you go left, they have a conversation about opening the vents and spraying for rats. And if you go through the top, there's only one path. And same thing. It's a conversation that's forced on you. And it's just like, yeah, they're about to be spraying for rats, and there's a maniac in stealth camo murdering people. They mentioned the ninja and stuff. But
yeah.
That's what that reminded me of. Is like, oh, these two soldiers are like, what are you talking about? Like, blah blah blah. Okay, let's get out of here.
Well, at first I thought it was Miss Jenner because this is before she knows she's wearing a red hat with long hair. She said, I found an enemy uniform, so I'm safe or whatever. And you get to that section, and like it says guard A, and he goes, what are you still doing here? Shouldn't you be gone? And guard B is like, what are you talking about? Yeah, orders are to evacuate. What? I didn't get no orders. And I was like, oh, it's her fucking trying to tell one of these guys to fuck off, And And then obviously that didn't play through. I'm like, what the fuck? That's why I was like, what are you guys? You're talking about the waters rushing? I'm like, okay. And then I saw the freaking little ladders. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to hold on to those. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it was straightforward, but I thought it was her at the first. I was like, oh, it's this chick trying to tell guard B to fuck off, and he's not getting it. You know?
Yeah. So after the tower, is that when we run into that gate puzzle?
Yes. Yeah, because she takes you out. And she says, oh, I'm going up to the power plant or whatever. And you go over here and do this. Plant. Which is funny because she tells you to go north, and that's where she goes. Yep. And I never understood that. She's like, oh, I'm going to the power supply. You go north, but that's where you're going. What?
Mm-hmm. No, wait, you go? No, you go east.
Yeah, you go then east. North. Yep.
Well, yeah, you go east then north, but it's like Kriss is saying, she goes directly north when you just found out that Jimmy or whatever his name is being held north.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things where she tells you, and then the colonel tells you, and then you're like, I have to go north, right? It's just like, it's one of those things where it's stated like 3 or 4 times, go north, go north, go north. Yeah. And then that's where she goes.
It's, the way you said it, it makes me think of Kung Pao, Enter the Fist. You go that way, I'll go home. Yeah. Have you ever seen that German?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I've seen it, yes.
I say that so often, I'm sure my wife is like sick of me fucking just quoting that movie out of nowhere all the time.
Face to foot method, how'd you like it?
My nipples look like milk duds. Anyway, so yeah, there's that gate. That one took me a minute. Like, I don't know, the first time probably like 10, 15 minutes. I was like...
Yeah, about the same for me.
I was like, how do I, the top one does something, the third one does something, the second one resets everything.
No, the top one is what resets everything.
No, the bottom one resets everything.
Oh. The bottom one rotates everything.
No, are we playing the same game?
Hang on. Is it different for all of us?
Whoa, dude, is it? Yeah, seriously, is it different for everybody?
Hang on.
Are you going to boot it up right now?
I'm kind of tempted to.
If you have a save state near there, they go.
I don't, but
100%, dude. Well, Luis, you beat it. You can select the chapters. That's literally the beginning of like 3 or 4.
What did I beat it on? Did I beat it on my Vita?
But I swear to God, for me,
let me go grab my Vita.
One resetted everything. This is hilarious, dude.
Because I know there's a second one too. There's a second door puzzle, but I don't think you've gotten there yet, German.
I'm literally just met Jimmy. I'm talking to him, but since I'm trying to do the episode, I'm not reading and talking is not going.
Yeah, no,
well.
I get that.
but yeah. I swear to God, for me, it was the bottom one resetted everything. The one right above that one shuffled everything down one, and the one above it shuffled everything. No, the one above that one was the one that toggled only the 2 middle ones. Mm-hmm. And then the one on top shuffled everything up. That's what I did.
I am 90% sure, unless I'm remembering incorrectly, which is possible. I'm pretty sure for me it was the top one that closed everything, reset everything. The second one down opened. So if you're counting from the bottom, it would have opened doors 3 and 4, and then the one below that one did like 1, 3, and 5, I think. And then the bottom one was the one that like shuffled them up, and it was like 3 doors. It would shuffle them.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Wow, hey, man. If they did there, I can hear the game in the background.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm excited that I can hear it. If they did this where it is different depending on when you push start or something like that, you know, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my kind of dreams, if you will, is to make a game where you can't just post up the answers online, where everyone's experience would be a little different, you know?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what I played it on, dude, because this is a different save. Damn it. Oh, I think I played it on my phone. Hold on.
Well, we can get to that. I guess we'll verify with the audience next episode, because by that point we'll all beat it, so we'll have to reload any file.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because even no, I can't mention this because neither of you are there yet. But yeah, no, that's how I remember it. The top one does a certain pattern, like it pulls 3 gates. The second one resets everything. The third one, the third one does 2 gates, and then the last one rotates everything like 2 or 3 times. I can't remember.
That's crazy. Okay, hey, well that's kind of cool again. So
we'll see.
But anyways,
and we're talking from top to bottom, right?
I'm going. Well, yeah, but yeah, Yeah,
well,
we are.
Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're saying the top one. You said reset everything for you.
No, not for me. The second one. The second one from the top.
Yeah. No, and see,
Yeah.
for me, the bottom one reset. 100%. I know the bottom one
And
reset.
for me, it was the top one.
That's so crazy. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, that's kind of something interesting. But see, I kind of forgot about that puzzle. As cool as I liked it, I kind of did forget about it. So when you guys were talking about the gate puzzle, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I'm like, I don't know, there was something they got stuck on. And then once you started, man, you're like, oh wait a minute, like, I remember this, and I'm befunded that we all had a different memory of what buttons do.
Yeah. What? Okay. And what happens after that? I don't remember.
Damn, what happens after
You were just
After
there.
that,
I know. Jesus, I don't know. You go north, isn't that's where you fight Boomerang?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
You
yeah,
go
yeah.
north, and you have to go left or straight north, and which doesn't matter because you got to go the opposite way of which you chose anyways. Because and this is different. I happened to go left, and I went through the left side, and you push that button, which opens the door on the right. So you got to go down
that's
to go
right.
all the way to the
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah, I discovered that quite by accident. Yeah. Well, I remember when you're going through those fields and the boomerang's flying through, and I was like, oh, you must be coming up on Slasher Hawk soon because, he was the one with the boomerang. And sure enough, once you get to the other side of that door, there he is right there. It's like, yep, I knew it. One thing I did not try, though, I wanted to. I don't know if you tried this, German. Did you try to get hit or did you get hit by the boomerang?
I got hit by the boomerang. As far as like getting hit by it, what were you thinking? Would it kill you?
I didn't know if it would damage you or if you like wouldn't be able to be hit by it because I was just like running around like a madman at that point. Like I had no real like okay, I need to go this way, I need to go that way, I need to head for this direction.
I'm sorry. Before the fight, no, I never got hit by. I don't know if you can get hit by it. I think it
that's
was just
what I was
there to
wondering. Yeah,
intimidate you. But yeah, good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is like, because I had opened the one door and I was like, I want to kind of like see if there's a pattern in where he's throwing it.
Yeah.
And try to get hit by it because I don't know if it was one of those things where because I kept moving that's why I wasn't hit, or if the game is specifically designed that you cannot be hit by it. It's just like you're supposed to be freaked out by this, or it's like one of those like, oh, it's a
attention,
to show you that you'll be fighting him soon kind of thing. So I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, you know what? I won't lie. I think only because I was kind of pressed for time, and I was trying to get to as far as I could before this episode. Otherwise, I probably would have been like, let me get hit by them and see what happens. I'm leaning towards you cannot get hit by it. That's where my money's at. I'm leaning. It's just to set the mood of the boss is coming again. Kind of the whole Vulcan Raven, his crows or his ravens. Technically, they're ravens.
Yeah.
The whole thing that they're caw, and they're all just setting that mood like boss is coming up. So I think it's probably the same thing with him.
Yeah.
Just, you can't get hit by the. And it's just there to set the mood of he's up ahead. Don't.
I think like it went over my sprite a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard for me to remember because like I didn't know what the hell that thing was. I was like, what the fuck? What is this thing flying around?
The first time I came into my screen, I was literally just about to transition to the next screen when I heard the and I saw something. I thought something was falling from the sky, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And then it wasn't until like that whole section there, I was like, oh, it's the boomerang.
Yeah, interesting. Because I think pretty much immediately, if I remember correctly, I recognized it as a boomerang, and I was like, oh, what's his name? I'll be fighting him soon.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird thing to do, though, as a person. Like, I'm gonna throw my boomerang as fucking far as I can.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well,
just to intimidate this guy.
Again, I was pressed for time, so I would have called more people and whatever. But you call what's his name, McBride. Or no, Weasel. And Weasel tells you that, he's like, oh, my buddy of mine told me that he cleaved a calf in half with that thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this fucker's got some
skills?
Some skills and some I guess
computer hacking skills.
I guess he said it's like a 5...
Bow staff skills.
Don't quote me here because I don't remember. But I think he said it's a fucking 5-foot boomerang with like metal or something.
That's
massive. Based on the size of him and his boomerang, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think he said 5 foot, but he's like yeah. And then when Hawk himself tells you like you're like, oh, boomerang is like, oh, what does he call it? Such a trivial white person name. I think he says something like that.
Such a Western way of saying it. Yeah.
No, he doesn't say Western. I think he says
but something
white
like
person.
that. Yeah.
Like, he's like white person name or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, my people called it, I forgot, the lily or something like that, whatever it was. And I did think about it. I was like, oh yeah, it's like there is a lot of stuff like that in the world where we know it as a certain word, but that's what someone, some kind of conqueror or whatever, a conquistador just said, I'm just going to call it this. Yeah. But it has an original name and stuff like that, you know? So I did get me thinking, was that true? Now, for sure, I know Hideo to put a lot of research. Do his research. Do a lot of the stuff he puts in his games. I mean, I would say a goddamn majority of everything he puts in his games has some real world truth to it. So I wonder if this is true as well. Did this the boomerang? Again, we could look it up right now in 2 seconds, but we'll do that later. But the point being is, that he calls it like, oh, that's not the right name. This is what it's called. And again, I called Weasel, and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, he's no joke, man. He's dangerous with that thing. And he's like, that's what do he say? He says it is nothing short of a hunting weapon or something like that. And he's like people have been using his people have been using that thing for millennia or whatever. And then he himself is very skilled with it, because it's like, again, I think like 5 fucking feet or something like that. Again, curved, still.
How strong do you have to be to throw
freaking
something that's just as tall as you?
No shit, dude. and again, that brings me to the whole like anime feel about this game,
like big weapons,
big old giant weapon, and he's chugging it around. His hawk, when he sends his hawk at you. I wanted to. I kind of wish I would have tried to shoot the hawk and, again, call meleeing. I've only saved once. I'm not going to lie. I have not called meleeing just because I haven't had to. It's such a short game. I'm like literally making it far without even trying. I did save not too long ago. I was like, I should save just because I haven't saved. And so with that said, I was like, I wonder if like you would shoot the bird. Could you kill it? Could you damage it? If you could even damage it, would Hawk say something to you? Would Campbell call you out for shooting the hawk? Would somebody say, "Hey man, what the fuck are you doing shooting this fucking bird?" Which in my opinion, let's say you could shoot it and you could hurt it and or even kill it. If anyone gave you shit for that, if McBride or Colonel or anyone says like, "Snake, how could you kill?" Like, bitch, this thing's attacking me. Okay, it's not like I shot a random ass fucking. This thing is trying to kill me. He's literally an enemy hawk. Okay, because like, come on, dude.
It's not like me punching ravens in the elevator.
Yeah, or you're shooting the rats and shit. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was gonna say this earlier with the box puzzle. How like it kept sending me down to different floors, and I was like, I gotta go find the elevator again. The elevator animation, like the background moving, it uses so many frames that it's so smooth, and it soothed me.
Oh, it's good.
It was almost like a reset. I was like, this animation's dope. Like, this game looks fucking awesome.
No, it's yeah.
And then as soon as I exit the elevator, I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta go through all this shit. But for that little 5-10 seconds, I'm like, yeah.
It's really nice because, again, they're just literally loading a background in the room you're in or whatever, the animating stuff. I kind of wish Snake's character model was a little bit more detailed.
I don't know, dude. It feels like it's really, really detailed to me.
I don't know. Like, I think it could be.
Like, have you ever just stood still and just? Oh yeah, I guess a little bit bigger. But
I
mean, like
bigger at most.
Have you just stood still and then just like look, like press up, down, left, right, and just kind of like the extra frames that they put in him to turn around? Because normally, like say you play Link's Awakening, you press up, the sprite just turns to facing up.
Yeah, in like an instant.
Yeah, there's no like turn around animation. There's no extra frames of doing that. It's almost like Metal Gear 2 where, when you go to crawl, there's like maybe 3 more frames of him crawling down, which man made that hard to get down and crawl on Metal Gear 2. But
not only that, but in Metal Gear 2, if you went like, let's say you're looking left and then you push right. On this one, you push right and he does that same motion where he kind of goes down and then right,
but quicker. Yeah,
so you can snap into your movements much faster.
In Metal Gear 2, he's like, hold on, let me turn around.
Oh, dude. Again, it's like kind of like almost moon physics. Like if you haven't played Star Tropics for the NES, it's just like that. Or if you have played Star Tropics for the NES, it's just like that. It's hard to get used to, and because like you're so used to it being so responsive, and you stop and you push right because you want to go in the opposite direction because there's the guard coming. And it takes them a minute to really start running or walking, if you will. And yeah, it messes you up. In this game, it works really well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's buttery smooth, that's for sure.
Oh, super, super smooth. And I didn't really notice the diagonal movement. Like I said, notice it. until you said like, oh, when I said I love this game, it's fucking dope. You're like, yeah, man, the fucking 8 Directions is I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it's 8 Directions. I didn't think about it, but yeah, it's
That's
there.
why it feels so good.
Yeah, you're not locked into just northeast, south, and west movements.
No.
Yeah, so you fight Boomerang Dude, you kill him, and I believe that's the end of the chapter, right?
Yeah, that's in chapter 4. What is chapter 5?
Chapter 5 is the beginning of the box puzzle. No, it is. Because I just got my cutscene with Jimmy, and it said end of chapter 5. So this is the beginning of chapter 6 right now, where I'm at.
Yeah.
So chapter 5 is the box puzzle?
Mm-hmm.
So then there's no way they would make you backtrack all the way to stage, what is that, 3? Stage 3 is where the sewers? There's no way. Yeah, maybe the guide was wrong or some shit.
Maybe they give you a box somewhere else that you gotta, somewhere in that section.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, so the box puzzle is stage 5, and stage 6 is where you're at right now?
Yeah. So I'm actually seeing the cutscene with Jimmy, and I will say...
now you see why he's...
yeah. He's 18 years old and goofy.
Is that how old he is?
Yeah, he says he's 18.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
I hate him. I hate Jimmy.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not too...
Every fiber of my being, I hate that little punk ass kid. Oh my gosh.
I'm not happy with this overall design either. I'm like, but
how much have you been talking to him?
I'm literally just kind of scrolling through his contact little.
Pay attention to his, like, the way he talks and everything.
Uh-huh.
I hate him with every fiber of my being. I just want to backhand him, like, so bad.
I kind of feel like he looks like a little bit like what's his fucking name? Louis Armstrong, was it?
Yeah, totally.
Right, Louis Armstrong. That's the comedian, right?
Yeah. Did you ever watch the cartoon Life with Louis?
Yeah. Exactly. It looks a little bit like him, doesn't it? Like an older version of him.
Because I was a kid when that show came out, and I used to like to do like impressions and stuff when I was a kid, and my friends would always be like, do the Life with Louis, and I'd be like, no, mom, because that's always because it's weird because like the cartoon version of Louis had a deeper voice than what he has in real life. In real life, he's like,
yeah.
But in the cartoon, he's got these like super deep voice, and he's a child.
Is he still around? Is he Louis Armstrong?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I remember knowing him as
not Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong's the musician.
That's okay. I knew I was wrong.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what are you talking about, Louis? What?
I didn't realize you've been saying Louis Armstrong this whole time until you just said that. Louis. Fuck. What is his name? Go ahead and continue. I'm gonna search his name.
I'm gonna do that too. Life with Louis. No. Anyway, it looks like him. It just like an older version of him. So I think it's hella funny. Dude, what's his name? Kriss
Anderson. Louis Anderson.
You just said. Is he still around?
Oh, did we lose Kriss?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
but I didn't say he was. I didn't ask if he was still around.
Oh no, he died 2022.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought German was asking you a question.
No. Who, me?
Yeah, I guess he was asking me.
Well, okay, so he looks like Louis Anderson. Why did I say Armstrong? I don't know. The point being is,
I mean, there's only like 2 Louis in all of like celebrityism.
but yeah, that show was super super funny. I remember watching it as a kid, and
hell yeah, dude.
I don't remember much of it, but I do remember thinking it was kind of funny that he had this real, what's the word, cynical kind of point of view. He was just kind of like an Eeyore almost, like whatever, dude.
If you think about it, like have you ever watched Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No, I never had seen that.
So it's kind of like that. Like Larry David is this guy who things just happen to him, and he's just trying to go about his day. And he's got a very cynical view of the world. But he's usually correct. And that's kind of how Louis was in the show. He was just like, why am I going through this shit? Like, I'm just trying to just leave me the fuck alone. Like, I'm just a kid trying to live his life. And things just keep happening to him.
I remember like his dad was like, I don't remember. Like, I remember his dad being like, not mean, but just very like, I don't know. Like he wanted Louis to become a man almost, kind of like a King of the Hill kind of style, like a Hank Hill. And his mom would piss me off. Because she was always so like, oh no, like, like poor, like
my poor baby.
Yeah, my poor baby. Oh, he got wet. And he was like, oh, mom, I'm fine, Yeah. I remember just hating his mom. Like, damn it, woman, like, let this fucking kid grow up to be a man, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Okay, so you're talking to Louis Armstrong right now?
Yeah, Louis Armstrong. Yeah, I'm talking to GB Armstrong here. Yeah, so no, like, I'm not a big fan of his design. And Kriss, the only so far thing that that I've really made out from him was, yeah, he just kind of a little punk. He said one line, he's like, I'm half your age, but I'm twice as smart as you, or some shit like that. I'm like, whatever, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it gets so much worse. It's so bad. Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, I think we shouldn't talk about stage 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Because because Jeremy's about to go through some shit.
Okay. You know, it sounds fair to me. Like I said, I'm not too far off. We should be able to beat it.
You're pretty much halfway. So
yeah.
I think this works out pretty well. I think it's funny that you were playing while we were doing this. So.
Yeah. Well, and stage 7 isn't that long anyway, so it shouldn't take him very long.
It's stage, because right now you're about to finish stage 6. I believe.
Well, I just started technically. Like I'm still in the cutscene, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think after you're done talking to Louis there, I think that's what ends stage 6, right, Kriss?
I think so. It must be, yeah.
Something for sure happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll tell you this much. So, kind of ending off on my.
Oh wait,
no. You're about to start.
Not.
You're about to start stage 6.
Yeah.
You're ending stage 5 right now.
Stage 6.
All I know
and then
is,
that happens, and then there's the
and then stage
thing
7
after that. Yeah.
and then X, and then Y, and then Lalu. Yeah, no. The power just went out, and last I remember is Mrs. Jenner went over to the power station. So again, even more sus to me.
So now it's definitely stage 6, but they're not terribly long. But yeah, we'll get through the second half of this. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, specific listener.
Who shall be named.
And you know what kind of sucks is, like, if it wasn't for my super secret top mission to Puerto Rico, we would have knocked this out in this one episode.
But you know what? It gave you a story to tell.
Yeah.
That's one thing that definitely always happens with trips gone bad. It's always like a great story to tell, and it's good therapy. You know, after you just went through a bunch of stress and like, fuck, I need someone to talk to about this, but you don't really know that you need to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah. No, you're pissed off, but you're like, but what can you fucking do? You know, it's like,
it's out of your control.
Yeah, screaming and yelling at flight attendant ain't gonna change shit. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that kind of happened to us on the way. It seems to always be on the way back. On the way there, everything's always smooth. Like, it was the same thing for us. We went from Reno to Denver, from Denver to Tampa. And on the way back, it was supposed to be the same thing, right? So, this was honestly our fault. Like, we took too long getting to the airport, and Jesse's freaking out. And I'm like, listen, running through the airport's not going to do anything right now. Like, if we miss it, we miss it, you know, but let's not freak out, chill out. And we make it to the gate, and the fucking ticket person, I don't know if they're also flight attendants, right?
I don't know, but I think they can be, for sure.
Okay.
Because I've seen some, like, check me in and then go in the plane. So
right, and they follow behind you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this fucking lady did not make things better, because she sees that we're there with our kid. We have a fucking chair that we need to put in, and she tells us, "You guys are late." And it's like, motherfucker, why are you telling me something like
that I know?
I literally was if I hadn't just told myself, like, relax,
we're gonna be cool,
we're gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
If I was at the other end of the spectrum, I would have been like, I fucking know we're late. Do you see the look on our faces right now? Like, we're stressed because we're supposed to go in before everybody, pretty much. We're supposed to go in like after the handicap, because since we have a child with a chair, we need to be able to pick up an entire row, pretty much, or set his chair up with the seat and everything. So yeah, we know we missed our fucking opening. And just the fact that I didn't say anything, I just kind of like gave her a look, like, look at us. Look at my wife. My wife is freaking out. And I think just that look, she was like, hold on. And she basically like walked us, like, we did cutsies, man. Like, she just walked us all the way to the plane entrance, and, was just kind of like, hopefully you can find a seat, together with your son and whatever and stuff. And thankfully we did, but she did not help the situation right there at the finish line. I was like, if you were a man, I might punch you.
Well, I was gonna say, one thing you reminded me of was when I was on my way there. Oh, two things I was gonna say. So, okay, well, on my way there, I was holding all the tickets, and like I said, on my way there, it was Reno to Dallas, Dallas to San Juan. So when we were doing the Dallas to San Juan, I got the tickets kind of mixed up, right? And so I went to go scan mine, and it's like, beep, okay, right? And then I go to scan Laura's, and it goes, beep, and the lady goes, oh, wrong ticket, or, she goes, wrong flight. She goes, wrong flight. I go, oh, shit, okay, my bad. And then I'm like scrambling now, because I'm like, shit, I'm trying to get the right one. And I give her another one, thinking that's the right one. She scans that one. She goes like, no, this is Miami to Dallas. She goes, no, she said, this one, it was the old one. I gave her the old one. She goes, this is Reno to Dallas. We're in Dallas, right? Just the way she said it. Like, this is Reno to Dallas. And I was like, yeah, I know. Like I'm like, we're in Dallas. No fucking shit, lady. Like, what? It's obviously we came from Reno and we're in Dallas now. And I'm pretty sure your goddamn computer there tells you that, the flight is already in the past and done and completed, if you will. I was like, lady, like, you're kind of pissing me off. Like, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I couldn't find the ticket, and I had it on my phone. So then, like, I pull out my phone, I'm like, here, scan my phone. She goes, oh, okay, that's the right one, Dallas to San Juan. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, fucking lady, kind of pissed me off there for a little bit. But then, like, it happened. So I'll be the first to say it happened to me. But I was wondering why it happens often. I don't know if it's happened to you guys. A comedian, I don't remember who said this, but he said that whenever you're getting on the fucking plane, he goes, there's always got to be one son of a bitch who's trying to go backwards. And you're like, what the fuck are you going backwards for?
What is this person doing?
What is going on, bro? Like, and and so it's like, did you miss your seat, dude? Like, you literally see the numbers on your way down. Like, how did you go from like 30, 29, 28, and you get down to 7? You're like, oh wait, I'm in seat 25. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? And so it happened on all our flights, but on the one going to the one we were supposed to go from Miami to Dallas, we're getting on that plane, and again I got my tickets all confused, and I swear because they were all the same area. It was all like 22, 25, like 28, 27, so I forgot which one it was. And Laura said, she goes, it's 25. I'm making this number up right now because I don't remember, but she goes, it's 25, right? I said, no, it's 22. And she goes, oh, okay. And we're going down. And I remember seeing 25, 2 seats empty. But I said, no, we're 27. And we get to 27 and it's full. And there's people sitting there. And I said, and I'm like, I look and I say, hey guys, I'm sorry, I think it's on my seats. And the lady goes, what? Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And I'm looking at this ticket and I'm like, yeah, right here, 27 F and E. And she's got a little baby up with her. So she's kind of like, oh shit. So she's starting to panic. She's starting to look. And, so now we're holding up the line, right? And then like I look at this ticket and I'm like about ready to be like, yo, like flight attendant, come help us out real quick, right? And I see that's the one that says Dallas to Reno, and I say,
God damn
shit. And I look, I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you're right. I'm like, I'm in 25 or whatever, right? So now I gotta go backwards. I'm like,
so
no,
you
I'm
were
one
the
of these
guy.
assholes. But it was only 2 seats. It wasn't a whole plane. Okay, so it wasn't me going back to, I was row 2 the whole time. No, it was only two seats over. But still, I was like, shit, sorry guys, I gotta go back. And so anyways, it happened to me. So I'm assuming that's what happens to people. But again, how do you miss like just 30 seats worth? Again, like 2 or 3 seats, fine, maybe. Like I said, I'm not justifying myself, but 25 and 27, all right, that wasn't the end of the world. But going from fucking seat 25 all the way back to seat 1, you're like, what the fuck happened, bro?
Dude, like airports are like high stress,
dude, they suck.
Areas. Like especially after 9/11, like everything has just become crazy. Like thankfully it's loosened a bit, but yeah, you're worried you're gonna miss your flight. Would you be able to get a refund if some shit goes down?
Oh yeah.
It's you're freaking being searched, you're randomly being pulled out, like you get to get your whole body scanned. Nope, you're gonna get to get touched over there. Like, nope, why do you have your whatever liquid, your body wash in the thing? You're not supposed to be able to take this on the, you're not supposed to have whatever ounces, and like, oh my god, you have a Swiss Army knife on you, and it's like,
you have nail clippers.
Yeah, you have nail clippers. You can't take nail clippers. Like they're causing all these problems, and they also do not love their jobs. So that's why anytime some customer fucks up, they're like, we're in Dallas, you idiot. Like, it's like, I know I'm in fucking Dallas, but I have 3 pairs of tickets.
Again, like I just did it again. They fly too, so I'm like, I just did a fucking 5-hour flight with a 1 hour, 2 hour layover, And I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I'm like, I gave you the wrong ticket. I'm sorry, but you can clearly use good judgment and realize, oh, I probably came from Reno. Oh, because it was funny because it almost felt like, again, we're sitting there at their gate and they know who's supposed to be on this fucking plate. And they even know that we're on the same...
The manifest?
The manifest, I guess. Like, we are together, if you will, Yeah. We're two separate tickets, but we're one party. It's like, oh, here's German. And it's like, oh, here's Laura. Oh, from Reno. Or, it's like, oh, yeah, you're fine. Get on in. Kind of, like, I know you're supposed to be on this flight kind of thing mentality. Yeah. But no, like we were talking about, like, when I was doing that body scan part, I was holding the tickets in my hand and the little envelope they gave me, right? So I raise my hand and the machine goes around me, and as I'm coming out, the gentleman goes like, oh, he's like I don't know what he said exactly, but he wanted to see the little folder that I was like clutching onto, and he opens it up just to make sure, and he's like, sorry, just gotta check. And I'm like, yeah, you're doing your job, bro. I don't care, I don't mind. But I was kind of like, damn, dude, like I'm just holding a piece of paper, but again, it could have been a razor knife. No, the machine would have shown it was razors, but still, he's just
anthrax. You're carrying anthrax.
Son. He had to open it up to make sure what I was clutching so tightly. My tickets, bro, because I don't want to lose my tickets.
These are fucking precious, man.
The funniest thing to me is if you're wearing shorts, they will take that scanner to your bare leg. What are you scanning?
Yeah, yeah. The little
what am I
wand.
hiding under my skin?
Oh, well, actually, you know what? They are looking for like screws and like titanium limbs and stuff.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, because if do they do the wand before or after the metal detector?
After, if it sets it off, I think.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Good point.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be the only thing. But yeah, it does look stupid. It's like this. I obviously don't have any gun attached to my bare thigh. But yeah. Anyways, guys, yeah, we got some stories for you listeners this time. I'm glad we got to hear German's adventures in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we could send you off to more places and you can experience a bunch of stress and just talk to us about it.
Report back, yeah.
Yeah.
Go topple some more governments, yeah. Well, I could do that.
We're sending the Contra over there. And it's just one dude.
Yeah, I know. I'll go to Hawaii.
Maybe that's one thing we'll have to do if we get big. Like if we get famous and we get rich from this or whatever, we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh man, but no, this is
Contra goes abroad.
Mm-hmm. I could even probably without setting up the whole voice meter overseas or something like that might not work. But I was like, I can even report from overseas. Do a true Codec call.
At that point, just do like a travel vlog or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess he could just be on Discord. Like we don't exactly need voice meter. He could just be on. Yeah. He could be the only one on there because we don't need to separate his voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could just picture all that shit. But you got to be wearing a bandana and a sneaking suit
when I call. Yeah, I'll do that. No, but for sure, this I'm excited to keep playing. I again, as soon as we hang up or end the call here, I'm gonna keep playing because this game's fucking dope.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys like it because I was worried that I wasn't gonna enjoy it, and I had high hopes for it just because like I said, there's two camps. There's the Metal Gear 2 camp and then the Metal Gear Ghost Babel camp, of which one's the best 2D Metal Gear, and they both have their flaws. They both have their strengths. But I'm kind of leaning towards Ghost Babel.
Mm-hmm. So far, same here.
Even though there was some bullshit that I dealt with on the second half. Wait till you get to it, where it's just like, oh, God damn. You didn't go past that, right, Kriss?
No.
Okay.
I stopped it. Once 7 happened, or once 7 ended, there was a small cutscene, and immediately after that, I was like, all right, save, put it away.
Okay. Well, yeah, you guys enjoy the second half of it. It is great. It does have some 2D bullshit.
Okay.
There's just something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is like, who the hell, who figured this out?
Okay.
One question I do have.
Yeah.
Do we know when we're recording next week?
I'm guessing Wednesday again, like normal.
Okay.
Unless Thursday's working for you, German. Do you want to keep doing Wednesdays or Thursdays?
Wednesdays sound good if that's what works for everybody.
Okay.
But I will be the first to admit again that there are moments where maybe it would be best to record on a different day, like Thursday.
Okay.
Well, no, because I can move everything. That's no big deal. Actually, we can record Wednesday if that works for everybody. Because like I said, there's just some days where Laura has to work like at 4 a.m., which means she has to be up by like 2:30, so
Yeah.
Those are days I want to make sure she gets her sleep, but I can just move everything to the other room, or at worst, just move it to the garage.
And drop the mic again.
Yeah.
I left that in. I was like, this is so fucking funny. Like, unfortunately, you warned us that the mic was gonna fall.
Yeah, I know.
Before we started like recording the actual
Okay.
episode. Like, it is recorded, but it's before we started the episode.
Okay.
But yeah, that shit was hella funny. You're like, see, I told you it was gonna fall down.
Because I clamped it as hard as I could to that. That desk was weird, and I was like, it might fall. I'm like, I hope it doesn't. And then like fucking was like 10-20 minutes later, bam! It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, so we're gonna be playing all the way to the end. I will play it again. I'm gonna mess around with some things that are in question, because I did miss a lot of the story. Actually, like it was kind of hard for me to pay attention while I was playing the game. But yeah, so what else we got? Any I know German already asked Kriss who. Oh wait, did Kriss even say who he thinks is sus? You just said who you think is sus.
I said I thought it was Weasel.
Oh, okay.
And then I kind of agreed with German about
Being too
McBride.
obvious.
Yeah, what's his name?
McBride.
McBride, yeah.
Okay, so McBride is in the sus chair right now. I don't know. Mei Ling seems very sus. Anyways, you guys did not acknowledge her. How dare you? I had to bring up Mei Ling.
She's too nice to be mean, to be bad.
Too nice to be bad. That's come on. That's misdirection right there.
Misdirection 101, I know.
That makes me think of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Jessica Rabbit. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn this way.
There you go. Exactly. She's just drawn that way. She's just drawn to look very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice and innocent. All right, guys. Well, that was Codec Calls, a Metal Gear Saga podcast. Feel free to leave us comments, likes, subscribes on the YouTubes, 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you're on. If you want to leave a review, we may read it on future episodes.
Yeah.
Also want to mention other things that we do. I kind of forget to do it on this podcast, but Kriss and I do movie reviews. We just did our first one on Alone in the Dark, which was a painful movie to watch. The last commentary we did was for Monster Hunter, another painful watch. I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves. And then what else do we got? We do some YouTube videos. We do have another, since it's kind of been Monster Hunter March, we got one, I think last Monster Hunter video to do where Kriss quizzes me on Monster Hunter themes on the songs. And I think I did bad.
It didn't go well, that's for sure.
I think I did bad.
Monster Hunter, like the game? Like songs?
Yeah, the songs.
Like
Yeah,
the themes of monsters,
Yeah. German has no idea what Kriss and I do when he's not here.
Dude.
He doesn't even listen to this podcast.
I haven't listened to it, but not because I don't want to. It's just because,
Yeah.
Anyway, but I love Monster Hunter. You know that, so I'd love to be a guest in that later, if possible.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll do.
We love that. Yeah,
we'll do a bonus one and bring in German, and we'll have to think of something for him, something special.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I was Luis, aka Noise One.
I am Contra, aka German, aka Riser.
I am Dammit Kriss, aka Kriss, aka the world's worst gamer, aka Faller, aka shoot.
You
Gosh,
forgot?
dang it. I forgot. Anyway,
Blue
that's
Rhino
me.
Boss.
Blue Rhino Boss, thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Yes, sir. The entire episode is out now. Those 3 are still playing. More content? Yes, sir. Pixel-benders.com is the best place to find it. Yes, you can click the link in the description below. Yes, you can send your questions to info@pixel-benders.com. No, sir. It doesn't cost a thing to give the show a 5-star rating. That's right. Nobody knows you are the one that will keep this podcast alive. Yes. Thank you. Goodbye, Mr. Listener.